Hello everyone and welcome to Formula Challenge 2016 here for the first round at Albert Park in Melbourne. We're here for a brand new era in the GPVWC career ladder. We're here in R Factor 2 using the ISI Formula 2 car. And a new era with me on lead comms. I used to drive in this series last year, and alongside me of course is Tom Parker. Say hello.
Hello.
Hello. Now, have you driven this car, Mr. Parker?
I drove it once about 2 or 3 months ago when the model was announced, but nothing serious.
Yeah, so you've obviously had a little bit of not too much experience, but still. What do you think you can expect from the racing of this season and how close it is at the moment? We've just finished the first official practice session of the season. I don't know, what kind of things are you expecting from this year?
I'm expecting quite a competitive year. Like you said, practice just finished. Top 6, separated by less than a tenth of a second. So more of that, please. That was pretty, it's really, really close. I was saying this to you earlier, actually, as you know, I can't really pick out a winner this year. I don't know who's going to win. I mean, last year you had Eric and Lars, and you thought, yeah, those two are probably going to dominate everybody. This year, I wouldn't be able to tell you a single person who is going to win. I mean, Brewster up there in second place, Paulson in fourth, names I've not seen up the top in open wheels before, so who knows? It's going to be quite close and exciting. As qualifying is yet go, yay!
Yay! And leading them out for the first qualifying lap is James Johnson. Now, JJ, as his nickname is really, he did form a challenge a couple of years ago in 2014. Now, he didn't get pole position at this round, but he did go on to win that first race. He is getting pretty quick in these cars. He'll definitely be one. He was one that was within that tenth of a second. Definitely going to be one to look out for. Will be Johnson across the season, mainly on the first part of the season. I don't know if he'll drop off later on, but definitely one to look out for will be JJ. Also, you've got people like Jonathan Holmes, who is vastly experienced within R Factor 2, doing a bit over in other leagues in open wheelers. So there is plenty of names on this field. Of course, James Johnson and Jonathan Holmes were teammates in that 2014 season. So we've got a few people on this grid that are fairly experienced, a few people that I would expect to be a little bit higher up than where they were within that practice session, a few people that I think will be a bit lower down. But, it's going to be, I reckon this qualifying session is going to be great. Not too sure about the racing. We've been through this. There's a lot of dirty air out there. And so it's kind of like, I don't know what the racing's going to be like, but this qualifying session I reckon is going to be absolutely nuts. They're all pretty quick, and good times that I've seen around here are mid 36s, so we're expecting some very, very quick times from these Formula Challenge boys.
Yeah, but as you know, new in R Factor 2, obviously at GPWC, we just moved over this year. The grip will improve with every lap, exactly. So last man over the line could very well snatch it, as we have got the first few laps starting now.
Yeah, James Johnson coming down towards the first turn, and some things to note about this car. Especially around this track, the brakes are really quite tricky to master. They're very awkward on the rear end. It's very easy just to slide the car through some of the corners. You'll see this quite a bit in Super Cup tomorrow. I'm not sure about Super League, but yep. It's tricky. These, especially with all the drivers who have come across from an R Factor 1 era, which GPVWC has been in for the last 6 or 7 years, since 2009. It's a very different beast, and I feel like the brakes are probably one of the biggest changes due to the fact of how the tyre model all is and how it all fits in together. But it's an all right lap from JJ so far. He's missed a few apexes, but it's all right. It'll probably be a decent benchmark as he comes around to the high speed left right of 11 and 12. And this will be actually quite a big note for the new track limit rules for 2016 here in GPVWC, where the rules are all drivers must keep 2 wheels. I believe it's on. It's actually on the white lines, although the yellow line's here, or it's within. I'm pretty sure it's on. It was on in Masters.
Yeah.
And so they must keep that, as opposed to the curb track limit that was in the previous season. So you'll see probably a few people getting penalties for that after this round, and the penalty by default is a back of the grid drop penalty for the next round. So it's pretty harsh, as James Johnson sets the first time of the season, a 1 minute 34.496. And that's a pretty good benchmark. That's pretty close to where they were running in that practice session. So a good start. And yes, another 10 minutes, another 11 minutes of this session, and that time is going to tumble.
Well, indeed. And he's already got 8th gap on Holmes, who you were saying could be one who could be up there. So it's, yeah, very good lap by Jono straight away there. James, sorry, not Jono. Jono's had a good lap as well. He's wearing his pops into changing all the time, and that's what I meant. That's what I mean with his grip. It's going to change all the time. People like Rural, who came out after, he's going to have a good lap because he started after. So
yeah,
like I say, these times, I mean, yeah, mid 36 sounds quite sensible.
Yeah, we've got a couple of drivers as well. It should be a 31 car grid. Yeah, it is a 31 car grid. Because of the academy car. Not sure who's in it at the moment.
Brett Metcalf, he got it for doing very well in Open Series for the pre-season test, so he was asked to join. Finish round.
Good looking car as well, just to give that credit. I like that black and blue. It's very
what's
very
that?
Stylish.
Paulson and Fernandez, I think, have had it coming together at turn 9.
Oh,
and Metcalf's joined them.
Metcalf, yeah. I had a crash there last season as well with a couple of drivers. The fact that it's a 30-car grid today, or for the season actually, 31-car grid, it's 10 less than it was last season. Hopefully, we'll see some nice cleaner racing. It was a bit of a mess with the 40 cars, so now having 30, the seats are a bit more desirable and stuff like that. So I'm expecting quite a good and very competitive season, really. What I was going to say is there is a couple of drivers, at least that I know, are in this for one round, maybe two. Basically, that are subbing in. We've got Andrew Waring, who's just gone up to 3rd position for Backmarker Brigade in that wonderful pink car that Smithy loves so much. Andrew Waring, a Super Cup driver, potentially one of the championship contenders in Super Cup, subbing in for this round just to help out Smithy. And there is also Tommy Oyala, who is in the Magenta Warriors racing team. He's currently in 18th position. He's just finished a lap. He is also subbing in for Alexander van der Velde, whose computer isn't built yet, so that's great. As far as that, I'm not really too sure who else is subbing in. I don't think so. This all looks pretty much like it looked on the original sign-up sheet. As JJ has actually improved on his previous lap. He's done a 37.3 now, so he's gradually improving as Philip Koenig, previous Formula Challenge race winner, in 2nd position now.
Yep, so yeah, just was going to say, JJ has improved his time to a 37.3, so that is quicker than what we saw in practice already, so the grip's starting to come to them. There's quite a few drivers starting to do their laps. It's Churgwin, I think he's the only one who hasn't set a time yet. He did go straight back into the pits from the track, so we're just waiting on the time from him. But he is going onto a lap now.
Yeah, it's this is going to be a tricky lap, a tricky track for them to overtake at. Realistically, I know it doesn't look so difficult with some of the bigger stops, but with dirty air, etc., getting close to people will be a bit of a masterclass. So seeing those people that start a bit lower down will be, it'll be hard for them to come back through. I do actually have a penalty list, which I'm not 100% sure if it will be added. And as far as I'm aware, only one person here has the penalties. This is obviously carried over from last season. From people that had penalties back then. It was Nicholas Hillebrand, who did a Formula Challenge round back at Hungary last year and racked up a 20-place grid drop. It was something to do in qualifying. He escaped twice, like a, noob. It's all right. He goes to 9th position, though. 38.0. That's a good time. But he has a 20-place grid demotion, so we'll start roughly from the back of the grid. And, again, he's going to be one of those people that will watch out for later on in the race. His pace is good. His racecraft is pretty good. So a watch for him to move up maybe closer towards the points later on. Obviously, his pace is pretty good. Puts it in the top 10 there. And the top 12 drivers are currently within 1 second. That, I guarantee you, will change as this session goes on. I would be surprised if something like the top 20 was outside of a second. This is a very close grid.
Close grid, all identical cars, obviously, in Formula Challenge, all using, like I said, the ISI Formula 2 car. So it's just brought over, literally just stuck a few liveries on it, off you go. So, yeah, like I said, I mean, equal cars. It's just finding out things in the setup that will help. Obviously, driving style will help. And R-Factor 2 is very dependent. I mean, a lot of this year, I think in all series, I mean, I'm not sure how much the tyre wears in Formula Challenge, but I know in Super League at least it's going to be a completely... It's going to be like a real F1, a tyre war. I mean, if you can keep the tyres longest, do well, as Brewster's actually got up to third. That's a good lap.
Good lap.
Cameron Brewster, so... But JJ's still got a just shy of 2/10 advantage on everybody, so looking pretty good for the first round here, as we've got how long left? 6 minutes. 6 minutes left for everyone to improve. As JJ now goes on to a new lap.
Yeah, that was apologies to Cam for not noticing that earlier. Yeah, he went to third. He's currently off the circuit, but that is a good lap. It's carrying on from that good form that he had in the practice session where he was second. He's clearly got some pace in this iCycle. I know he's had pace in R-Factor 2 before, obviously qualifying on the front row in World GT. Very, very different beast to these, but the initial round, he's currently getting in the way a little bit for the braking zone of the second to last corner. Not really sure what's going on here for Mr. Brewster. I think he's got a problem, possibly out of fuel or something like that.
Yeah, that's where his LED isn't on, so that's not...
Yeah. He's not going to be able to get back to the pit lane. I'll see if I can find out what happened to him.
No, yeah, he's escaped, so that's his quali over.
Yeah, he just pulled off coming out of T13, so, yeah.
Must be what's happened there. He's probably been on a good lap. He's probably thought, I'm just going to go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, he's third place at the moment. I mean, he's not too shabby at all. So fingers crossed he can keep it there. It's Fernandez.
Yeah, Patrick Vandermuller also missing a front wing. He's almost. Big crash there. In the pit lane entrance. Yeah, he's currently in. He was in fourth position, now fifth. Moved down obviously by Carlos Fernandez in Tayfor. But Patrick Vandermuller there reversing into pit lane. Stylish, but yeah, he lost a front wing somewhere around the lap. Got it back to pit lane, so it's okay. I don't know what will happen after that, but nevertheless, Johnny Holmes goes up to fifth position. I believe he qualified in the front row here 2 years ago, as Jesper Tolborg Nielsen now grabbed the pole position and spun at turn 3 like a. Yeah, as James Johnson does improve his lap time, he goes to a 37.146, so looking very, very strong at the moment is JJ.
Yep, Waring just popped into second, still 3.32 off, so JJ, like you said, really looking really, really strong in this first round.
As Waring, yeah, second position for Andrew Waring, back marker brigade, not at the back. Currently in the second position on that front row, 37.466 is our man, his teammate. Currently in 29th. I mean, we've got to give some Smithy love out.
Yep, top 30, I think he'll be happy.
Well, yeah. Obviously, points are actually exactly the same as they were last season, as far as I'm aware, being top 15. I'm not sure if the reverse grid has changed with the shorter grid. I do apologise for not knowing that.
I'll check quickly.
Yeah, I'm not sure where it was written. I did have a look, but couldn't see it. Yeah, it's actually, I can see it now. The race win results with the top 10 to 15 positions reversed. So it's the same as it was in the International Touring Cup last season. Due to the fact of it being a smaller grid, it is only half the grid as a maximum that gets reversed, as opposed to the 16 to 20 that it was in the previous season. So that being shortened means that you really are going to be wanting to get those top 10s and stuff like that to guarantee yourself a reverse grid. It's pretty tough to get that reverse grid now, and we'll see what these guys can do. And yeah, it's going to be an interesting. I'm actually really looking forward to this season. We've got 2 minutes and 40 seconds left of this qualifying session here at Albert Park. We'll just see if anyone can beat James Johnson. Yeah, he's into the pit lane now, though. He'll probably get one more run if he gets in quick enough. Randy Muru actually went to second. Again, apologies for not noticing. For Bastvik, that's actually a good result for him. And that team, previous race-winning team is Bastvik. A couple of race wins to their name. I don't really remember all of them. I remember distinctly one at Monaco in 2014. They've had a couple since then, I'm pretty sure.
Can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, as Philip Koenig comes out of the final corner, I don't know if he's on a lap. I think he is, yes. He's going to not improve.
It's like I was saying earlier. I mean, look, second to fifth is just over a tenth. That's insane.
Yeah, it's very close. As wow, that is a very good lap from the YTF1 driver of Johan Lindberg, who goes up into 4th position. That's a nice lap, 4/10 off. Currently, JJ with a big lead at the moment and looking to secure that. I don't think he'll be out again, actually, in this session.
Maybe we'll be able to
Wearing
get out.
Muru, Lindberg, Koenig all out on track as the top 5. 4 of the top 5. Then we've got Brewster and Ruout, who are actually remaining in the pit lane. Jono Holmes, a lot lower than I would have expected, coming out of the final corner. Currently in 9th position as Aidan Paulson goes to 14th. Jono Holmes going to head to the line as Melamed goes to 4th position. That's Melamed for Scuderia Basilia, a team that fell quite hard after 2014 and a fantastic 2013 rather, a fantastic season they had with Giuseppe Ranieri going on to win the championship and Super Cup. Really struggled to find a good driver since then to fight up towards the front.
Yeah, but he's brought Melamed in. Melamed looks pretty. This looked pretty quick so far. Looked pretty quick in the practice session. Questions over his consistency and his driving styles around the track, but I was sure they'll be answered. They'll be answered here in open wheelers.
Remember what I said earlier about the top 20 being within a second? They're within 1.15.
There we go then. So
very
looking
close.
Yeah, so down to Cherwin's the last person within a second in 18th place. So that's not bad, really, is it?
No, especially when you consider, that Johnson and Waring have a 3/10 gap. That is incredibly close for the rest of the field, and it's getting me very excited for this race. See if anyone can make a last lap improvement. I don't think so.
Oh, Waring's round.
Yeah. I think that's it. Pretty much.
Let's have a look. Melamed, they're all in sector 1 at the moment.
To the line.
Oh, he's pole! Oh, wow. Where'd that come from?
Shocker. That is a shocker. Great lap there from the T4 driver. Fantastic stuff. As he goes on to provisional pole position here at Albert Park.
Melamed up to 3rd. Oh, Holmes! Where's that?
There he goes.
And this is what I mean. This is what I mean by the grip. Last minute, last lap.
Exactly. That was
improved.
It was a mistake for JJ Fournier to pole.
Where are all these people coming from? All these people, look, they've come over the line and they've just pulled it out of the bag.
Who had a 3/10 lead less than a minute ago, is currently in 4th position, has been beaten. He should not have stayed in the pit lane. That was a dramatic mistake. And one mistake that has cost him dearly. We've got Terence Grech, who's actually exited lap. Never mind, he was looking pretty good on that lap.
Lindberg's coming round.
Yeah, he's pulled off. He's pulled off. That's it. I'm pretty sure he did. He didn't look quick through 14. Yeah, he's into the pit lane.
Cherwin's coming round for a lap 17th at the moment. But yeah, I mean, look at that. But look at the gap. I mean,
these are not good. No, not good sections, unfortunately, for Cherwin. Still, though, what an exciting end to the qualifying session there with Holmes, Fernandez, and of course Fournier going on to pole position. That is actually 2 pole positions in a row for Fournier. He had pole position at the final round last season, so he is carrying on that good form. Grabs it by a whopping massive margin of 0.004 of a second, which is also massively far away from Fernandez, which is nearly 300ths off of pole position, and James Johnson nearly 400ths off of pole position at the moment. That is incredibly close from the top 4, and we shall see what will happen. I'm going to say that Johnson was actually the fastest of the 4 there, based on the fact that he set his time earlier on in the session before lots of the rubber was put down. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we shall see. Apparently, he had no more fuel.
Yeah, I think that's what Brewster also ran out of fuel. Just informed me. He also ran out of fuel. So, but he's another one. I mean, where would he have gone? He was ahead of the likes of Holmes and Fournier, and just, I mean, where would he have been? But I mean, fair play, top 10. But
10th, great, yeah, of course.
That's insane. So, yeah, 18th is the last person who is just over a second away. But yeah, top 17th in a second. Not a bad start here.
It's going to be a great season ahead of us, as we have just finished the first qualifying session, and in roughly 10 minutes' time, we'll be going on to the first race of the season. Now, who do you think, Mr. Parker, is going to win this first race? Tough question.
Yes, I mean, before I would have said JJ, but
Hmm.
who knows? I mean, Fournier really pulled out of the bag. Holmes knows what it takes to win in Formula Challenge, and he's had that experience in higher leagues, and he's very, very quick, as we all know. Fernandez, he really shocked me. I mean, when I saw him in practice, I mean, he was all over the place. So,
Yeah,
great effort to him.
I've not seen Carlos Fernandez at all around the place. Well, he may have been before my time in GPVWC. I'm not really too sure. He's definitely new within my era of GPVWC, which is over the last 3 years.
No, I've not seen him before. I've been here since '09, so
he incredible lap there to get third. And yeah, it's just proof that the track was changing, it was rubbering in, and that's exactly what we want to showcase here with R Factor 2, that you need to learn all of this stuff, all these brand new things that, as much as R Factor 2 is not a new sim anymore, it's been around, it's been used in GPWC, we used it a couple of times back in 2013. But there's so much in it with being out on track all of the time and not wasting any time within this qualifying session. There is only 15 minutes and on a grid where it's all in the same car, and we're going to see this through Super Cup and of course Super League, which is all equal cars for the first round of the season. It's going to be tough. And it's going to be close.
And one thing is that you don't want to do. I mean, R Factor 1, there's no grippy line like we've been saying. I mean, you can set your car up, fine. You don't want to set your car up on a green track here. If you set your car up on a green track, as we found out, you'll have too much grip and you'll go spinning off everywhere. When you get to the race, you'll just be like, well, I've got too much grip now, and it can cause oversteer and it can cause anything. And so you've got to be really clever. I mean, now we're in R Factor 2, you've got to be clever about it. You can't just go bolt yourself on, go balls to the wall for 15 laps, off you go. You've got to be really, really careful. And I mean, a lot of drivers coped pretty well so far. I mean, some drivers have come to the fore, some drivers have dropped back, but
it's a bit of a balancing act here in RF2 with how you work the setups. This is a game that really does require practice and a bit of finesse here and there. You can't just slam down the brake pedal and all that stuff. All the stuff that we've heard over the last few years. And it's a great environment for these guys, especially with these cars. Now, I'm not going to lie, these cars are really tough to drive. They are really difficult. They don't look it. They look pretty easy, but they're very, very difficult. Especially when you start locking up the fronts and stuff like that. They're pretty bad. You'll actually see a few people. I'm pretty sure a few people are going to lock up coming into their grid box to start the race after the formation lap. That is going to really ruin their race. There's no pit stops in this. We don't change tyres. It's 15 laps of flat out racing. So it's going to be interesting to see which one of these people, which one of these guys can manage their tyres the best and get to the end. The start's going to be important. We do have launch control and stuff like that, but it's not powerful like it was last season. It's not the same. You do have to have a bit of throttle control here and there to make sure that you are, you're actually having a good start. And yeah, this is going to be a very interesting start for the first round of the season. And I have no idea who's going to win this race.
No, I can't. I mean, Fournier wasn't someone I would have even had in my mind to be up there. So, I mean, props to him. What a lap for him. I mean, pulled it out of the bag. Fair play to him. But where did it come from? I just don't know. But like I said about the start, it's right. I mean, obviously, in the last couple of years, for the challenge, you've had launch control. R Factor 1, it was very simple. Literally, launch control, wait for a bit, okay, I'm gone. And we put that in because Formula Challenge unfortunately had the reputation that they couldn't start, and they were just causing accidents here, left, right, and centre. So it'd be interesting to see if they've cured that problem. I mean, like we have launch control. I mean, it's actually in all 3 series this year, so
yeah, it is.
It's not mandatory this year, which is the difference. So you don't have to use it.
Oh yeah, if you can feel you can start better on the clutch, then start on the clutch. The other thing is with the differences between this season and, of course, 2013 when launch control became mandatory, is the grid quality has gone up massively over the last few years. This is a very, very strong series. Not that, of course, the front of the field was still pretty strong back then, but in comparison now, the midfield and stuff like that is so strong these days. I distinctly remember qualifying like 18th and being 2.5 seconds off back at Silverstone in the first race. So, and that shows you 2.5 seconds now back of the grid comfortably. There's no way around that.
But yeah, for 18th,
so close.
I mean, I think 18th was Matthew Churgwin. He finished a second off, literally exactly at 1 second. So you would have been like I said, yeah, the quality, especially the midfield, and not even that, the racing has got better as well. I think, I mean, the first couple of years is could be a bit funny. I know last year we had some cracking races all throughout the field, so they've improved as warm-up has ticked over to 0-0. We're a couple of minutes away.
Yeah, I'm a bit. My biggest concern with this race will be the dirty air and how that affects the racing, and whether we're all going to be single file or what. Apparently, these cars do have some form of DRS, although it's only like a light that shows up. I don't think it actually has any effect on the car at all.
No.
Unlike obviously in Super League and Super Cup both having DRS, which is where the 2 DRS zones are. But yeah, 2 sprint races ahead of us. Both 15 laps each. The longest they can be is half an hour, but we will not be getting that far. And
it rain.
Yeah,
it is forecast. There is a slight chance.
Yes, there is a little bit of rain in the area. We don't think it will hit us today. I think we're looking at it possibly hitting at some point throughout Super Cup, but not too heavy. And yeah, so it's a great week of racing ahead of us, I'm sure. But it's roughly 3 litres of fuel a lap, which means they've got to be putting in 45 litres. You want to add a few more for the formation lap, and obviously the end. I get there eventually. I'm just a bit...
Well, yeah, I mean, Brewster, he ran out of fuel, so I mean, it's easy to misjudge it. I mean, there's like a couple of people ran out of fuel in that qualifying session, so already people have been misjudging it.
Yeah, I think it's because these cars do use a lot more fuel than you'd think, especially if you come from Super Cup, which I'm pretty sure Super Cup's something like 2.7. I mean, I should know, I do drive in it.
Super
something like 2.7. Yeah, what's Super League? 2.4, I guess. 2.3.
I'm not going to say because hashtag.
Okay, yes, that's
competitiveness.
True.
But yeah, it is less than 2.5. So
yeah.
Which is weird, but yeah, there we go.
Well, I was saying with a few seasons, like the last few seasons, Formula 1 has always used a bit more fuel, but this season, I don't know. It's just kind of, you look at the cars, they're so small, and it's like, nah, they won't use that much fuel, and then they use 3 litres a lap. That's insane.
Yeah, you wouldn't be finishing a Super League race with that tank. But yeah, let's get another time. Oh dear, so everyone in track? Yep, everyone's off.
Yeah,
briefing going on now. Got a lot of spectators.
Yes, there is quite a few spectators. Wow, there is a lot of spectators. We could have a pretty good race with this lot.
Yeah, let's go. Let's have a look. Do like the iRacing, have to ghost and go round.
Yeah. Oh, that is terrifying when you go backwards around the track. We have finally ticked over into the first race of the season. Now, if you're seeing lots of like rubber, discarded rubber, it looks like all over the track. That'll reset once everyone's gone around a little bit. It's just a R52 thing to go fixed. But yes, this grid, this race, who is going to win? My bet for it will be Holmes. I think Holmes will do it. That is my wild stab in the dark right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'll go for JJ. I think he's gonna.
JJ.
Yeah, I think if he's been practicing enough as you say he has, he'll have to start nailed. I think. I mean, he is on the not. I mean, grippy side of the trick occurred to the other side of the track, which is not grippy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, will we see different starts?
Yeah. There we go. We've flashed now into nice sunny conditions. As I will now go through the grid. As we have Jeffrey Fournier, first pole position of the season, second in a row though, so having some very good form in these qualifying sessions, followed by Jonathan Holmes, his first race in Formula Challenge for a year. He was up in Super Cup a little bit last season, now back down in Formula Challenge. I think he's qualified in the same place as he did in 2014. Carlos Fernandez, a shock lap in qualifying, puts him into third position. A fantastic lap though for Tayfort, looking like he's in a strong position to contend for a podium. Behind him, our previous pole sitter, James Johnson, looked very, very strong in the early parts of that qualifying session, dropped off a little bit later. And then it's Max Melamed in Scuderia Basilia, Andrew Waring for back marker Brigade, Johan Lindberg in 7th position for YTF1. Then for Cosmo, it's Philip Koenig, previous Formula Challenge race winner a couple of years ago back in Shanghai. So a track that we're not going to this year. But a driver that does have some pace. You have to keep an eye on him throughout the race. Ramti Muru, who for Bastvik looked very strong earlier on in that qualifying session. And then in 10th place, it's Cam Brewster. All those top 10, I believe, are all for different outfits. Behind him, though, is Marius Nicolai, teammate of Max Melamed. One of these drivers that has a lot of experience in R-Factor 2. Should be keeping an eye on him as the race progresses. Then it is 12th position, Patrick Wanamula, winner at Singapore. Stefan Ruolt in 13th, Naranjan Kumar in 14th, Aidan Paulson for 15th position, Terence Grech in 16th, Matthew Churgwin in 17th, Rob Mason 18th, Hansco Mebius in 19th, followed by Ben Willis rounding out your top 20. Then it's Mark Hutchinson, a name I've not seen before, the teammate of Carlos Fernandez in 21st position, Tommy Oyala in 22nd, subbing in for Alexander van der Velde. Mitchell de Jong, teammate of James Johnson, all the way down in 23rd. And this was a driver that we think could be challenging a bit later on in the season. Sam Jones in 24th. 25th is our Open Series guy, Brett Metcalf. Then it's Thomas Yogi, Simon Smith, Brenzinu Adrian, Joel Pereira, Nicholas Hillebrand, and Argu Tader to set out our first grid for 2016. As they are all almost in line here, and Jeffrey Fournier going to start from our first pole position of the season. Is he going to get a good start as 5 lights are on ahead of us now? We are racing for the first time down under here in 2016. It's a fantastic start from Jonathan Holmes, who jumps straight forward into the lead. A bad start from James Johnson down to 5th position as we all tumble through turn 1. Jeffrey Fournier goes back around and Waring's round, big crash in T1. That is a massive, massive crash. Lots of cars involved in that. Lots of good race cars. Not really.
It's still going on down the straight. That could be a red flag.
Could be a red flag. Yeah, that's a red. I would say that's a red flag. Fundamentally, that's got to be a red flag. But either way, even if it's not, we've got Jeffrey Fournier in the lead, heading us down towards turn 6. And it was a fantastic start from Jonathan Holmes, but Jeffrey Fournier bounced back into turn 1, got a great drive around the outside, and now we actually have our top 5, same as they were on the grid. Carlos Fernandez looking pretty feisty for that second position at the moment. Right on the back of Jonathan Holmes. He's going to go around the outside. He's not going to be able to manage it. He's looking though, but yeah. He's going to have a look through 11 and 12. Dangerous
this
stuff
is
here.
this is what we're saying. This is going to be the important corner now.
Oh, yeah, he's smart. He didn't go for it properly. He just tried spooking him. Did cost him a bit too much, but it's fine. But he is feisty for that. What have we got?
Brewster and Lindbergh. Lindbergh caught Brewster. Oh, and Jones hit Brewster as well.
Jones
caught him out there going into 11 there, but no.
Tommy Oyala, no rear wing. Yeah, this is not the best start.
Yeah, Hildebrand and Koenig also.
Yeah, as Andrew Waring's already out. I'm not really sure what happened there. It was actually a fairly similar start to what we had back in the Masters, the first round of the Masters. I'm actually going to go have a look at what happened.
Yeah, I think what happened was, I think Waring was, it got a little bit loose going into 1 and maybe a little bit touch of oversteer, like I said. And I think he might have been helped round this last part. And everything, like I said, top 5 were the same, but after that, it's completely changed. I mean, you got Brewster down. So Churgwin's up from 9th from 18th. What a start for Churgwin, bloody hell.
What a start. Yeah,
it was there, but
it was a bit of Waring turning in a bit too early whilst they were going a little bit. I don't know, Melamed and Johnson having a bit of a contact, and it was just a.
Oh, Fernandez is round! Fernandez is round! Oh my word, in the fast right! There's a massive crash. Who's that? Van Miller's off. He's lost his front wing.
Yeah, this is a big instant fest at the moment. What we were a bit worried about. There? I don't really know. This is a.
Let's have a look. I think what's happened is Fernandez has. Yeah, he's turned in too early for the fast right, and he's just hit the grass on the right and spun straight across the track. Van Miller had nowhere to go. Unfortunately for him.
Lots of people in the pit lane as Mitchell de Jong's crashed at the end of pit lane. Yeah, a bit of a mess so far, but we shall soldier on. 3/10 is the lead between Fournier and Holmes. Dropped back a little bit through that the fast left and right. But currently in second position is Holmes. Obviously wants to get that first win of the season. Everybody wants to get that first win of the season, wants to start off on the best form. Things to note, though, is over the previous 4 seasons of Formula Challenge, actually only twice has the championship leader won in the first round. Just a fun little interesting fact to throw out there, so we'll see how that develops as the season goes on. But whilst these two are very close on track, James Johnson is going to be catching. He did a nice lap on the previous lap. He caught up by about half a second. in that final sector. So obviously JJ's got some serious pace within his Madcape car and looking to try and challenge. Previously last season driven by Lars Brugman, who won them a handful of races. Tried to get into Super Cup, weren't quite successful with that, but now have a good lineup that hopefully should be getting them a few podiums and a couple of wins throughout the season, as Patrick Wanamula is in the pit lane from a good qualifying position. It's all falling apart for him now.
Yep, and I'm just looking back to JJ, obviously, where he's catching up. He's not a dirty air. I mean, look at Jono. He's struggling to keep up with Fournier. Is that because of the dirty air? And Will Johnson now starts to get affected by it as he's catching up. He's almost within a second now of Jono Holmes. I mean, will he start feeling it through turns 11 and 12? I mean, like you said, dirty air is pretty prevalent on these cars. Is there going to be a drop-off at any time?
I mean, it seems like looking at Jono, you've got that 8/10 gap, really, between him and Fournier, which was it looks fairly similar to what he had the previous time he exited turn 12. So he's looking like it's this 8/10 gap that seems to be that choke point. You know, you get within that time and you kind of need the car in front to make a little bit of a mistake. It's going to be difficult. These guys have all got to get used to it. And it does concern me a little bit, but we shall see where it goes. As you see, it's 8/10 of gap to from Fournier to Holmes, and about a second from Holmes back. We'll check throughout the grid to see who else is out and about.
Yep, Churgin, as you said, has mistakes. Muru made a slight mistake coming out of the fast 11 and 12, and Churgin gobbled him up, going up to the first slow right-hander in sector 3. So he's checking 7th place. Starting from 18th, may I add. So he's had, like I said, really good race for Churgin. I mean, I know he was struggling a little bit the other day. I was talking to him and he said he was struggling a little bit. But judging by this, he's having a really good race. Keep it consistent, keep it on the road. And he's got a lot of free air in front of him now, up to Rual in 6th. So keep it up. There's a yellow flag. Who's that off the road? That would be Metcalf.
Yeah, a man subbing in from in the GPVWC Academy car. He's off, just currently sitting off the road. I'm not really sure what's going on there. He's off on the exit of turn 8. But it gets going again. I think he was just trying to get out of everyone's way. It's now quite easy to spot yellow flags thanks to the nice boards that Mr. Chris Williamson has actually put in around the track. Really bright and in your face, so you can't miss yellow flags, blue flags, or
anything really.
Yeah, no, you just can't miss them. They're really nice and bright. That's good. It's always good to keep people aware of what's going on around the track. As it's now a 3/10 gap. Yeah, it's gone down now.
They're bunching up. Fournier is he's still got a 1.3 second lead, but Johnson is starting to catch up. He's now within a second of Holmes.
Yeah, I think JJ will be just playing it calm, playing it safe. I think Holmes will be as well, just letting things happen. There's a bit of debris on the right-hand side out of turn 2, so yeah, got to watch out for that. Debris can cause a couple of issues here in RF2. Not punctures or anything like that, as Fournier's gone a little bit wide at 3. He's certainly feeling the pressure of Jonathan Holmes and James Johnson behind. James Johnson and Jono Holmes both finished 1-2 in 2014. Looking to finish that way again if they can get past Fournier. We're here 4 laps into the 2016 season.
Yeah, we've got about 7th, 8th, 9th, Churgin, Muru and Mason also joining onto the back of it. So we've got a 3-way car, seems to be a 4-way car if Brewster could also latch on. So
Paulson doing a good job as well. He started from quite low down, up in 11th position and not too far behind. He's about 5 seconds back. It's still quite a way. Is Carlos Fernandez, our man, qualified 3rd position. He'll be looking to move his way back up towards the back end of that. And of course, we do have the reverse grid race a bit later on, and it's all about positioning yourself for that as well.
Koenig is out of the race. I've just seen his name pop up. Can't see what happened there. Down. So we've got 3 retirements: Waring, De Jong, and Koenig all out so far. But not bad. I mean, it's better than we thought. It's not.
Oh, Mason off! Mason, big crash out of 12. Oh, he spun across the track as well. Lost his front wing.
Unfortunate. Commentator's curse for you. Oh, so unfortunate. I mean, that's really good race. Really, really good.
He was doing
up to that point.
Well.
So, I mean, he's still got quite a gap to the cars behind because of that big first accident. So he might not lose too much. But
big shout out to Sam Jones, currently in 13th position. Of course, teammates Jonathan Holmes, who's been struggling with this car and not really liking it too much. However, 13th position, currently in some points, will be very good for him if he can get that. as we just had Marius Nikolai set his fastest time. I believe he actually made the final on the previous lap. Did he? Or was Ruat quarter back? God, I don't pay attention to anything.
But Ruat's actually caught him
been
up.
catching. Yeah, Ruat's been catching.
Yeah, he's right on the back
doing
of him
some
now.
really, really good laps. Ruat. Yeah, I've just looked for the laps. 38s over the previous lap. 38.7 and a 38.8. Those are some good race laps. We were doing some race stints earlier with a couple of the Magenta Warriors boys, and it was 38s are good race times. You may be able to creep into the 37s. I know JJ has been creeping into the 37s occasionally, so on race pace. Some good times there as we've got Willis, Sam Jones. They are backwards at 14. At 3, 14th and 15th. Not sure what happened there between the two of them. But Shem's good drive at the moment from Sam Jones. Drops back now into the bottom end of the points.
Oh, Mason has a penalty. Looks like he might have sped through the pits. Down in 21st. So he came out pretty, came out in an unrespectable position. But yeah, it's got a drive through, so it just goes from bad to worse for the Englishman.
It's easy to make all these mistakes. You know, when you've made one, it's easy to make a couple more afterwards. And, you know, I've done it before. When you have a bad race, when you have a bad race, and just keep getting worse. Still 3/10 between this. It's this Nikolai Ruat battle that I'm currently interested in. I think Ruat, if he's close enough, he might be able to make a move down into turn 3. We'll have to see what he's like through 1 and 2.
Peeks out at 1, gives him a little bit of scare, lets him know he's there, but he's had a decent line. But
I think he's fast enough. Nikolai, I don't think it's a good enough run. Yeah, Nikolai.
No, Nikolai's also had a good run. So
yeah.
Unless he goes for a Banzai, which half-factor 1 you could do, half-factor 2, I'd recommend it.
Yeah, he's just keeping him very, very heavily under pressure. It's actually really good to see someone right on the back of someone else in this series. You know, Ruat's doing a fantastic job there. I'm concerned he might be using a bit too much of his tyres to do so, but still doing a very good job to keep Nikolai under pressure for this top 5. And starting off the season with a top 5 would be a fantastic result for the Deltec team.
Especially in a grid of this quality. I mean, it looks like Nikolai's keeping it in the middle of the road, not having... Yeah, look at that. It's not quite on the racing line perfectly, but I mean, once he gets to the braking zone, he moves over a tiny bit, which is okay. As long as he doesn't make any sudden movements, that's all right. But yeah, he's keeping it in the middle of the road, not letting Ruat have any space. Good defending, very good defending from Nikolai. Keep it up. Oh, there we go. He's got a run on him as I say that. Side by side into 11. Beautifully done.
He's going to have the ramp to 13, though, is Nikolai. Oh, he's gone a bit too wide there.
But I think he'll have it. I mean, you don't get too penalised if you go onto that thing, will he?
No, I don't think he's close enough now. He's lost that run. Yeah.
With a lock-up, but nothing.
Nice from Ruat there. Good move up to Nikolai. Nikolai, experienced in RF2, actually races over in the Virtual Endurance Championship, obviously GTs. For him, not an open wheeler car, very different. He did do a few rounds, I'm pretty sure, of Atlantic Series, but not 100% sure on that. He's a good driver, though, in RF2. He knows what he's doing, obviously very experienced in World GT. He had, yeah, good driver. And a great signing for that team, him and Melamed. Currently 4th and 6th for Scuderia Basilia, probably the strongest team out there at the moment as a team.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, the only other team who's got 2 in the top 10 are Drake with Cherwin and Bruce respectively. So, good. I mean, like I said earlier, top 10 was separated by 10 different cars. So it's nice to see that not one team's dominating like we've had for the last couple of years. Cough, cough, ice cold. But yeah, it's just nice to see a bit of a variation. It's nice, very pretty.
Yes, it is always good to see lots of different cars and battling with each other. Because I'm not going to lie, if there is one thing that I absolutely hate doing in sim racing, is battling with a teammate. Can't stand it. It's kind of like, oh, if I hit him off, this is big trouble, you know.
Tell you what, going through the fast chicane just then, Johnson was half a second off Holmes. He lost 4 tenths there alone.
Yeah.
Was that good? Yeah, it's just unreal. He just had, I think a bit of understeer going into the left, had to back out, lost half a second. Now looks over a second behind.
Would be great if we could have that dirty air just be a little bit less prominent, get some closer racing, but it is what it is. I think it will be a good test for these Formula Challenge boys, as obviously over the last few years it's all about getting close and, you know, I would say trying hard not to hit each other off, but, you know, I've driven in Formula Challenge. you know, it's a very different beast now. It's all about consistency and keeping a calm head, you know, not doing anything too stupid. And so I think this is going to be great. Nikolai's dropped off massively from the
He
back
has.
of
I was just going to say he's actually falling into the clutches to Churgwin.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's 3.5 seconds off. So yeah,
maybe,
God, blimey. Maybe it's a problem. Maybe he's pushed too hard in the early part of the race.
Yeah,
Best lap's only 39.4. I mean, Brewster, Muru, Churgwin 39.1, 39.3, 39.1. All quicker, so could we have another battle on our hands?
And he's also, his last 2 laps, 41.2 and a 40.4.
Oh, Muru, is he going to have a look at Churgwin? No, not going to second
No,
two.
Churgwin did lock up his brakes a little bit though. I think he's
Muru looking very racy.
Muru is looking very racy. He wants, again, first race of the season, you want to get some good results. It's just, again, it's all about mentality. With all the dirty air and stuff like that, it's all about, oh, Churgwin's made a mistake. Oh, Churgwin's made a big mistake.
Oh, he nearly hit. Oh, that was close. That'd have been a disaster if he'd hit his teammate there, but he's kept it. He's locked the tyres up doing it. He's got a big gap back to 12th place, so not too bad.
Yeah, just need to keep those tyres under control now and not push him too hard. Carlos Fernandez up into the top 10 after that first corner incident. Those tyres are going to be boiling for Churgwin.
Yeah, he's going to take it easy for the next few corners, maybe even laps. I mean,
lap, yeah, I'd say lap or 2.
Yeah, it's not half up to 1. You can't call it down.
Yeah.
Go.
Fernandez, though, right in the back of Poulsen. We've just been looking at Poulsen's teammate getting up into the top 5, being Ruolt. And now we've got Fernandez fighting to get back higher up in that top 10. And, you know, we know he's got the pace to fight. And he's been climbing his way very slowly back up the grid, up that order. And he's doing a good job of it so far. Yes, 10th place for Fernandez. Fighting Poulsen. He's just going to have to take his time. People have been making mistakes. The thing is this series, although it does have traction control and ABS, the traction control does not do that much in these cars. They're very twitchy.
Top three within a second of each other almost.
Yes.
Held up a little bit by back marker. Jono's
Okay.
getting ever closer to Fournier, but as a result, he's got Johnson right up his backside.
Yeah, but this is a good run from Jono. This is a good run from Jono up towards 11 and 12. I don't think he's going to be able to do anything with this run, but this is a damn good run.
He's going defensive. He's going defensive. That's going to put him offline. Is Fournier. Could leave him vulnerable. It's going to leave Jono vulnerable to JJ, definitely.
Here we go. Up towards turn 13. Is James Johnson going to be able to get a move done on Jonathan Holmes? He's going to do it on the outside. Jonathan Holmes breaks late. JJ's gone off. Too much there for JJ.
Good effort though. Really good effort. Really clean as well. Clean. I like that.
Yeah, it was a good try, worth trying. It's a very tricky one. There's a lot of understeer through 13 in this car. It's not off cambered or anything, but it's just there is so much understeer in this car through 13. It's so hard to keep it within the track limits and stuff. So it's a difficult one to actually try around the outside, to be honest.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well worth a go.
I mean, now we're halfway through the race. It's going to be tyres going to get a bit. Oh, we've won that 2/3 of the way through the race. So yeah, the tyres going to be starting to feel it a little bit. The fuel's going to be coming down. The car's balance is going to change. It's all going to be feeling a bit different. Might be able to do it earlier on in the race. Yeah, like I said, JJ, I think he got caught out by the slipstream actually that he got from. Going a bit too quick maybe, but it was good effort. I mean, really clean. No bashes or anything. So that's what we like to see.
Yeah, again, ex-teammates, those two. But Fournier looking ever strong to continue this great form, leading every lap of the race. In fact, the only part of the race he didn't lead was off the start. Other than that, he's done a fantastic job here at Albert Park.
Brakes, yeah,
he's just been doing a good job. He's made a couple too many mistakes, but nothing too big. That's the thing, is that you're allowed to make little mistakes, especially the first round of the season. Little mistakes are okay. It's if you're throwing it off the road, that's when your bigger problems happen.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I've noticed earlier on, it seems to be sector 1. He seems pretty strong. I mean, on his pole lap, actually, his sector 1 was what got him pole, and he does see a couple of.
Poulsen. It's Fernandez has got past Poulsen on the exit of 10. It was just because Poulsen made a little bit of a mistake on the throttle. Fernandez straight through, up into 9th position. Currently, seconds off of the back of Cameron Brewster, who's dropped off the back of Randy Muru.
Yeah, it looks like Muru has the pace. I think he's been a bit inconsistent so far, but he's back up to 7th. Very respectable. I think he qualified around there, actually, so good job. I mean, Muru... what's this?
JJ, massive mistake. He's dropped right back off of Jonathan Holmes. He's 2.7 seconds off.
Could that be second to last corner, maybe?
Possibly. Not too sure where he's overcooked it.
Let's have a look. Yeah, he's actually Melamed's not too far behind him now.
Yeah. Good drive from Melamed so far. He's locking up his front right a little bit too much into 3. But but Johnson's round! Johnson's round!
Oh, he's struggling. He looks like the rears have given up.
We're out up to 4th. Malamed onto the podium. James Johnson, their big mistake. That could cost him so badly coming up into that second race. But
yeah,
he's made another mistake.
Yeah, his tyres have cooked. He's cooked his tyres. He looks like he's been pushing a bit too hard. Yeah, it's caught him out obviously earlier on. Yeah, it looks like his tyres have overheated. And that's what that just goes to show what happens if your tyres overheat. You're in for a bad time.
Yeah, this is all stuff with that dirty air. It's all about just keeping it calm in the dirty air. With with the way it all is and stuff like and how the dirty air affects the aero balance of the car, it completely changes how your tyres are wearing. And yeah, that's obviously caught Johnson out. Yeah, down to 5th. It is unfortunate. He was looking as a strong contender for that race win.
Oh, Muru Brewster.
Consolidate.
Muru Brewster, very close. Caught right back up to him. I mean, Nikolai's only 2 seconds up the road, so I mean, how many laps left now? 3 laps left, maybe? Yeah, 3 laps left to go.
Yeah. Yeah, because
can anything change? It's all changed now. It's not the lap you're on.
Yeah.
Fournier still that 7-7 gap. Again, no, nice and consistent. Nice and consistent. I like it. It's good.
He's just been driving. To credit where it's due, Fournier has been doing a great job as Rob Mason gets out of the way, his teammate. But yeah, if you look at his laps, there was one that was a couple of seconds off, which was just one where he probably made a bit of a mistake. But outside of that, he's still doing 38.8s on these tyres. These are still good lap times.
Lindbergh, fastest lap, 38.0.
Oh, good. Yeah, he's 12th at the moment. Obviously qualified quite high. He was, he did really well in qualifying and got caught up in that first corner mess.
Good job from the ITF1 driver, very good.
Yes, as Hillebrand, actually. I don't know what happened to Sam Jones. He's had a crash. His car's crabbing a lot. He's got no rear wing, down in 21st position, because he's dropped out of the points. And Hillebrand has taken the final points paying position. Obviously starting from last.
Oh, what's happened to Fournier? I've just seen him right ahead. Who's that also? Willis is round in 14th, turn 4, but...
Yeah, Hillebrand up to 14th.
I saw Holmes is right on the back of Fournier. Fournier must have made a mistake somewhere.
Oh, yeah, I think he might be struggling for tyres. Here comes... This is going to be a good run out of the final turn from Holmes. I think he's quite close enough, but possibly down into turn 3. If Fournier is struggling on his tyres, Holmes is going to have a very good run down into turn 3.
Yep, he's just letting him know he's there, having a peek again. But it seems like I said, Fournier is good in Sector 1. Sector 1 seems quite strong, but John has had a good run out there. But is he close enough?
He'll look.
He's going to have a look.
He's going to have a try. It's not enough. Or Fournier might have overcooked it a bit. Cut back. Not enough.
Tricky to overtake into that one. I'll be impressed.
It is very tricky, especially with the understeer as well. You pick up a lot on the outside. Again, rubbered in line. You must remember this, that there's only one rubbered in line here. There's
I've
only
just
one
seen also battle for third. Melamed Rual. Rual's really put onto the back of Melamed. We've got a battle for first, second, and third and fourth.
What a fantastic drive here from Stefan Rual for Deltec. The team that struggled. I don't think they actually scored points in the previous season of Formula Challenge. They may have done with a substitute driver, but this is a fantastic drive from Rual. He was very, very quick in practice, and a podium that potentially should have gone to James Johnson, but a mistake from him has led it to this fantastic duel between Melamed and Rual down into 11 and 12. There's contact. Rual is off.
Brave.
He manages to rejoin.
Good save, actually, but a bit brave. Well maybe he's got to be a bit clever about it. He shouldn't. I mean, that's never going to happen. He should have just let Melamed have the rubbish line into 11-12 and score on the exit.
Exactly. Yeah.
These things you learn. It's Formula Challenge. You learn these things. It's got the speed. He just needs to have a bit more racing brain, but still, like you said, good effort. He kept it on the road really well, so good play, fair play to him. But that's unfortunate.
Melamed's struggling a little bit on his tyres, I think. So Rual, this is not going to be the last time you see those two going side by side. I'm pretty sure. Final lap of the race though for Fournier and Jonathan Holmes. Can he hold on to this first race? This first win of the season? We saw 12 months ago, Rasmus Salo and Eric Strana battling it out up until the final lap of the race. This season, we've got Fournier and Holmes going for that first win of the season, as that is a mistake from Holmes out of 4. He understood too much. That could potentially be a bit too much of a gap now for him to make up. We shall see, but I'm not too sure. I think Fournier is struggling with his tyres now.
Yeah, Ruel also now back within a second of Melamed for 3rd and 4th.
Back marker up ahead as well, Willis.
He's quite sensible. He'll be all right with that, I think. But keeping the eyes on the lead battle, what's going on? Holmes is 4 attempts off now. I mean, if he gets a good exit out of 11-12, this could be the last chance.
He's messed up 11.
Yeah,
it's too much
second
going,
off.
yeah.
Melamed's also got a second gap as well.
And yeah, with back marker ahead, that is game, set, match there for those lot for race 1 here at the 2016 Formula Challenge season. And what a fantastic drive from Fournier. A bit of a slide there through 14, through 15, and through 16. A fantastic drive from pole position. Not the best start, but he managed to get it done at T1. And alongside the mess that happened, Geoffrey Fournier is victorious here for the first round of the season. And Jonathan Holmes comes in second. Max Melamed, a fantastic earned 3rd position. Ruel in 4th. Gave him a big, good run for his money. Did Ruel, but only 4th position. 5th for James Johnson. What could have been, could he have challenged for that win? Marius Nicolai in 6th. Fantastic results for Scuderia Basilia as Randu Muru goes in 7th. Cameron Brewster in 8th after getting caught up in that first lap mess. Carlos Fernandez qualified 3rd, down to 9th position. Great recovery drive though. Aidan Poulsen in 10th. Matthew Chergwin 11th. Johan Lindberg in 12th position. I believe he may have kept that fastest lap of the race. Hansko Mebius going to come across the line. His teammate in 13th position. Nicholas Hillebrand for the brand new outfit here in Formula Challenge Magenta Warriors. He comes out of the finals corner to finish 14th from the back of the grid. And Patrick Wannemuller, what could have been for him as well, previous Formula Challenge race winner again, had to make a trip through the pit lane and repair some damage. So a fantastic result for him to come back into a points-paying position. That is your top 15 and your point scorers here for the first round. And obviously that top 15 as well, that will be between 10th and 15th, your reverse grid for race 2 coming up shortly after this.
Great race. I mean, really clean, no incidents. I mean, if obviously turn 1,
first
turn
lap,
3 was a bit of dodgy, but after that, I mean, yeah, there's a few spins, but there was no. I mean, apart from the whole Fernandez and Vandermuller incident, which Vandermuller actually could do absolutely nothing. Really clean. I thought I was really impressed so far. Hopefully they can keep it on in race 2.
Yeah, hopefully we have a bit cleaner race 2 on the start, although you wouldn't put your money on it. But it's the first race for these boys. This is what you've got to remember, is that when it comes to the career ladder, this is their first time racing in RF2, and this is not an easy sim to go side by side in. It's not like RF1. Like RF1, the contact, you had a little bit of leeway with where you made contact. You know, you could kind of warp a little bit between people's wheels. In this, that does not happen. Nope. Contact is contact, flat out. There is none of that like little bit of whatever. It is just flat out contact. So
yeah. Like I said earlier, I mean, just before we came on broadcast, these career ladder cars will explode. It's not R-Factor 1. You hit a wall, it will go bang. You will lose a wheel, you will lose a wing. That's race over. I mean, like I said, R-Factor 1, you can brush a wall, get away with it. You brush a wall here, goodbye front wing. It's got to be so much more careful, but that's what it's all about.
Yeah, confirmation there from James Johnson that he was overheating his tyres. It was a good race. It would have been better had there not been such an aggressive effect of dirty air. But again, that is the mod that we are using. Hopefully it's something that is noted and maybe changed for a season up ahead. I know it, but like, I'm not saying remove dirty air, but maybe like half it or something like that, just to increase that racing aspect, because it is a bit too much.
A little bit of a tweak, yeah.
Yeah, I was driving this mod earlier around other people. I've been driving the Super Cup car, and the dirty air in this is a lot more aggressive than it was in the Super Cup car. Again, I'm not too sure what it's like in the Super League car, but yeah, it's this is one of those things that it's not been it has existed in RF1, but in R Factor 2 um it's so much stronger is the dirty air.
It actually makes a difference. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to say what Upgrade Path will do or anything, but I know that this year teams are going to be thinking in Super League of actually giving a crap about
Dirty air.
upgrading to dirty air because it's
Yeah.
actually going to help. I mean, I know I've not driven around too many other people in Super League, obviously, but from what I've heard other people say, there is dirty air and it is prevalent, and you will have to do something about it. You can't just whack wing on and hope it works because it won't. What you'll do is end up destroying the tires a little bit more.
Indeed, and yeah, there's so few setup options in these Formula Challenge cars as well to combat it. It's one of those things that it would be a little bit better if it was just a little bit less. Long season though, and I'm sure these drivers will get used to it. There is a method of driving against a car with dirty air. There is a formula to it, and it is figuring that out, which will cause. I mean, look at Rualt. He drove fantastically well up to the back of people. Now that is what people need to focus on. Is if there is one thing that every driver takes from this round is how he did that. They need to watch what he did, how he did it, and maybe make a couple of tweaks to the setup, figure out what he was doing that combated that dirty air, whether it's more front wing or whatever. There was something that he was doing that was affecting that, and that is what people need to take.
Absolutely, and it wasn't even like he was doing it at the end of the race. He was doing it in the middle of the race. I think it was Muru. He just drove up to him, went round him, as if he wasn't there. It's like no one else was doing that. I mean, you saw with the trio at the front, Johnson, Holmes, and Fournier. As soon as they got too close, I mean, you saw Holmes in the last lap. He got close to him. Bang, second off.
Yeah, it was a great drive from Stefan there. To prove that you can race even with this dirty air. I say, if I was one of these drivers in the field, I would legitimately just watch him on the replay, see what he was doing and stuff like that, just to get a couple of tips and tweaks to see what I could do. Not just that, it might not even be set up. If you look at how people are using the throttle and the brake and how they're using the tyres throughout the race, it's those kind of things. Because you've got to remember, as you've said so many times throughout the broadcast, that tyres are so important in R Factor 2, and pushing them too far at the start of the race will absolutely destroy you later on. Just ask James Johnson.
Yep, Johnson, Melamed also to an extent at the end. Chergwin, I mean, we saw him spin a couple of once or twice because of the tyres. I mean, just before he span, actually, when we saw it, I was going to mention he did look a bit unstable going under braking, and that's when, I mean, if you're unstable under braking, that shows already the tyres are too hot because your rears are locking, your fronts are locking. You lock a tyre, that makes things 10 times worse. Not only is there a flat spot, you've got a boiling hot tyre. And then, obviously, you saw he came out of the corner and he span it. So you've got to really keep an eye on the tyres. I mean, the wear itself is okay. Was what we figured out. The wear is okay, but it's the thermal degradation is what's really, really, really important. You didn't get that in R Factor 1. We just had, this is how much rubber is left on the tyre. Go into, I said, 20% in Super League. Bang. Done.
Yeah.
You do that now. You can do that now. Yeah, fine. But if you can probably get down to 20%. But as long as your tyres are within that window, absolutely fine.
Yeah, there are various graphs and things you can look at for the car. We're reloading the weekend again. There are various statistics that you can look at for the car. And actually, the wear line is fairly similar to the tyres that we've been using throughout GPVWC over the last 3 years, where, you have that very aggressive drop off at roughly 15 to 20%. It's like a straight line and then boom, down. Because the grip isn't everything in RF2. It is all about thermal degradation. It's all about how hot the tyres are.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said with the graphs. Yeah, you look at one graph, it's thermal degradation one. After a certain amount of degrees Celsius, it will just go jump down. It goes. Not a chance. I mean, rear tyres obviously worse because hot rears equal bye bye.
Yeah.
But you 11 and 12, I know in a few people I've spoken to in Super League, they're struggling 11 and 12 because obviously it's base car, all the same. I mean, every car will be struggling it. You don't set the car up correctly, you will not go through there without understeer. It stuffs you up for the rest of the sector 3 because your tyres are still hot, and obviously 13 and 14 are right-handers, and 16 to an extent as well. So You need to be careful with your tyres, not push too hard. It's knowing when to push. That's what R52 is all about.
Yeah.
You need to know when to push. And Ruel proved perfectly that race when to push and when not to.
Yeah.
In fact, if it wasn't for Fournier winning that race, I would have said he's my driver of the race, actually.
I would totally agree with that. He did such a good job. I know he didn't grab that podium at the end, but what a fantastic job. As you say, using the tyres perfectly. He didn't push. This is the thing, is that when you're not battling with someone, like... This is something that a lot of people did in RF1. They're past someone, and it's just like, boom, green light on, let's go qualifying, lap, 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 lap. And you can't do that. You absolutely can't do that. It doesn't work. You need to always keep monitoring. I know it's only a 15 lap race, which is like 20 odd minutes, but it's so important just to keep the tires at the right temperature. If you look, there's a graph that goes, it tells you what the tires should be on 100 degrees, on 90 degrees, and what 80 degrees. And if you look at the differences of how long they last, it's insane. It's not like, oh, it'll last an extra couple of laps. You're talking like, almost twice the distance. It's so much.
And it's like that across the career ladder. I mean, exactly. Super League, Super Cup, and Formula Challenge. You do not keep your tires in check, you will fail. You will not fail, but you will find it incredibly hard. I mean, Super League, no one knows. I don't know what stops I'm doing yet.
Yeah.
Because we don't know. Obviously, I mean, Super League's a bit different. It's 2 compounds, but
yeah.
Super Cup, don't know. It's hard. It's going to be strategy. It's going to be a lot of strategy involved this year.
Yeah, and that's fine. I'm all okay with that. I don't think it belongs so much within Formula Challenge, but hopefully as the season goes on, and say people will learn, people will pull a Roo out, as I will now call it, for the rest of the season.
Yeah. That's what I mean. It's the first race. Everyone's going to learn. And for a first race, I mean, wow. So reverse grid number is 10, by the way.
Yeah.
Who was 10th? Paulson? Yeah, Paulson, because he took it from Churgwin when Churgwin had that spin. So that's unfortunate for Churgwin. But yeah, so that's the lowest number. That's it's going to be gutting for everyone who finished in the points.
Yes.
But...
Yeah, but still, it's going to be good. I'm sure it's a very good pole for him, and we'll see how well he can do. And hopefully, we won't have a first-turn crash that we did in the previous race. And also, the thing is on the tyres. What I was about to say was how this season's going to develop, based on the fact of we're here at Melbourne, which is not the highest degrading track. We've got places like Hungary coming up, which are very, very harsh on the tyres.
Barcelona, you thought your front left was for fun here. Imagine your front left at Barcelona. Woo! Oh, wow. That actually hurts thinking about it.
It's going to be very, very tricky to manage. And this is all about wings and stuff like that. It's going to be tricky, as you say. Yeah, Barcelona coming up in a few rounds' time. Who knows what's going to happen there? We've got Bahrain up next after this. That's not going to be too bad on tyres. I'm not sure if we're running that at night time or not.
That'd be, because I mean, that's a hot place. Hot. I mean, the temperature here, what's the temperature here? It's about 20,
29,
20s?
29
mid to high 20s.
Track at the moment, 28 ambient. It's a pretty hot day. Of course, as it would be down in Australia. And
life.
Yeah.
Then, like I said, Bahrain, that'd be a nice 35, 40 degrees.
Yeah, hopefully we run that at night time. Not going to lie, I'd like to have that at night time.
That'd be pretty. It would be.
Oh,
I think we ran it at night last year.
We did
an ITC it, didn't we, at one point?
Yes, we did the first time we went there in ITC in 2014. Yes, we did do it in... we did it at night time in the career ladder last season. But obviously, we're here in RFX 2, new builds of new tracks. We're not really sure how well that would work. Also, shout out, we're on a different build of Melbourne. Not going to say where it's from. But it's a good build. It looks good.
I must admit, Chris, give props to Chris. It's a really good job. He's done a really good job of editing. I mean, turn 10, the infamous wall.
Yes.
So, you've gone too wide, we're going to destroy you. He's
Yes.
fixed that, a few other fixes, and the track looks really good. So props to Chris Williamson, one of the admins at the league. Very, very good.
Yes. Yes. And as I say, the boards and stuff like that around the track, fantastic. Just the extra attention to detail to make it, just a bit more comfortable and stuff for the drivers. Fantastic stuff.
Absolutely, yeah. Obviously, if you want to join in, you can give them the link. Where do we go? If we want to race, I want to join Lewis. Where do I go?
You go to gpvwc.com and then click the forum button and sign up. Put yourself in the introduce yourself thread. Obviously, make a new thread in there. Introduce yourself, and say what you're looking for. And potentially best place to start at the moment is Open Series. It's always some good racing in there. Same cars as in Formula Challenge. But there is no championship or anything like that. It's literally just to get yourself on the map. And we've seen plenty of drivers who have gone through Open Series, put themselves on the map, and then put themselves in this series. I know Hillebrand did a couple of rounds of Open Series last season. Yeah. I think Fournier did as well.
Fournier, Koenig did. Koenig has done a few. So yeah, I mean the talent is there. I mean you may not be super straight away. I mean it's very rare that you will be, but some drivers here have proven that they can race. And like you said, Fournier, he's come from Open Series. He is the pinnacle of what you can be.
Yes, exactly. A good benchmark. Back when I started in 2013, we didn't have an Open Series. It was just kind of like a jump into Formula Challenge and enjoy the Wreckfest. And Open Series is actually, it's a really good environment. I'm pretty sure. At least last season we had broadcasts of it, thanks to Menno, and I think Rude was doing the cameras.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Rude's even about anymore. He's focusing over in other leagues. But it was broadcast and stuff like that, and it's a great environment to showcase potential.
Absolutely. And Menno's really nice. He's really helpful. Really nice guy. Everyone's there to help. I mean, the league's quite good. I think one good thing about our league is the community. It will help you. You ask, and we won't go. Rah, rah, rah. We will say, look, this is what you got to do. Hopefully, I mean, obviously, you can't reveal everything, but maybe you might be able to get a set up for someone and give you a hand. I mean. Open Series is definitely, like I said, the perfect way to start. One race, 15 laps as it would have been here. Wopke Hoekstra incidentally won it by a massive margin, but then we know Wopke shouldn't be there.
Yeah, Wopke shouldn't be there. I believe his dad's in it as well. Rink?
Yeah.
You know that?
Yeah, something Hoekstra. Yeah, Rink Hoekstra.
Yeah,
but
Wopke shouldn't be there. I think Wopke's actually signed up in Super Cup, so I think it was just doing it for a laugh.
Something like that. Way. But yeah, it's as it's a good place to start. Like I said, Fournier's been there, Koenig's been there, both now race winners in Formula Challenge. So get yourself along, have fun. It's all about the fun, isn't it? At the end of the day, super serious.
Well, of course, there's also the GPVWC Academy car now, which last season was the Downforce radio car. It's basically it's a single car outfit that changes its driver every round, and it will pull a driver that they see potential in from somewhere such as Open Series.
Yeah, it is the Open Series, I think.
It is basically it's just the Open Series. Someone does well in the Open Series, and or like a test or something, and they will be put into that car. And it is a point scoring car. It's in the team's championship and everything like that. It is a flat out Formula Challenge car. You just don't have a teammate. But yeah, it's a perfect place to get ready, as we are ready, I think, now to move on to race 2.
Yeah, I've just seen on Facebook, Matthew Churg, new arms, please. # the flat spots are real.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, the force feedback, though.
Yes.
You're going to break your arms.
Yes, I turn my force feedback down and it still hurts sometimes. It's like, God. It is quite difficult to deal with. For anyone that doesn't know, if you get nice big flat spots, like I'm talking juicy flat spots, it shakes your wheel down the straight, all the way down the straight and around the track, because it's more incentive to not be an idiot on the brakes.
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine driving around. I mean, I think Churg was only driving that for about 6 laps. Can you do 15 laps an hour? No thanks.
Yeah,
absolutely no thanks.
I've done it in endurance racing where like you flat spot on the first lap and it's kind of like, I've got to deal with these for 40 minutes. Ugh.
Yeah,
it's bad.
But that just shows off R2. It does what it's supposed to do. R2 1, there's no such thing as a flat spot. I mean, you might lock up, you might lose 1% of your tyre. That's it. You've lock up in here. I don't know what's like in a Formula Challenge or Super Cup. Super League, you lock up, you can lose 8% a lap.
Oh,
just in one lockup, it's insane.
Yeah. In one locker, I have locked up in Do you remember the Atlantic Series, the DW12s? I locked up once in that, and I lost 5% in one lockup. I was just like, "Whoa, oh dear."
Yes, that just shows the tyres are important, and don't want to be doing that too often. So off we go.
Yeah, getting ready to go ahead here for our second race, and I'm instantly seeing someone who I might consider being a potential race winner here, considering the grid. But at the moment, starting from our pole position, as they will get underway in about 20 seconds' time, is Aiden Paulson. Alongside him, there will be Carlos Fernandez. We'll go back through this in a minute, but Carlos Fernandez, someone who qualified very strongly in the previous race, got involved in the first turn incident. He's a potential race winner here for me.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean,
Cameron Brewster, though.
Cameron Brewster, yeah. I was going to say, actually, if he keeps on the road, he's one who definitely a podium. Definitely a podium's on there, but Fernandez, I think, will be up there. Yeah. Well, go through the grid. Go!
We shall find out very shortly. Continuing the great form here for Deltec, nearly got a podium in the previous race. Did that team. The teammate of that driver is Aiden Paulson, currently starting from the reverse grid pole. Carlos Fernandez in second position alongside him. And Cameron Brewster in third. Randu Muru in fourth. Marius Nicolai in fifth. James Johnson, potential podium in race one. Messed it up a little bit. Can he bounce back to a good result here in the second race of the evening? Then it's Stefan Ruel. We said about him and how well he can keep his tyres together. Will he be looking good a bit later on in the race? We've also got Max Melamed, podium sitter from the previous race, in 8th position. Then Jonathan Holmes and our race winner, championship leader Jeffrey Fournier in 10th position. Be interesting to see who wins, who is leading the championship exiting this round, bearing in mind that only once in the 4 seasons of Formula Challenge, the championship leader leaving the first round has actually gone on to win the title, and that was Jim Paresis in the first season. Matthew Churgwin in 11th position. Had a spin midway through that race. Hopefully he'll be bouncing back a little bit stronger in this race. 12th position, Johan Lindberg, followed by Hansko Mebius, his teammate, Nicholas Hillebrand from the back in the previous race, now 14th, followed by Patrick Wanamala. Then outside of our points finishers from the first race, we've got Terence Greck, Mark Hutchinson, Brezanu Adrian in 18th, then Tommy Oyala, teammate of Nicholas Hillebrand in 19th, Ben Willis in 20th, Niranjan Kumar in 21st, Joel Pereira in 22nd position, Rob Mason in 23rd, and Sam Jones in 24th. We saw Rob Mason and Sam Jones running in their points. Will they be able to get back up there? And fan favourite Simon Smith in the bright pink backmarker car in 25th position. Brett Metcalf in 26th, our academy driver. Argo Tedder in 27th, potential Super Cup driver in future in the Enterprise GP outfit. Then Andrew Waring, involved in that first turn crash last race. Then it's Philip Koenig, Mitchell de Jong, and Thomas Yogi to round out all 31 drivers of this grid.
I'm interested in Waring. I want to see where Waring's going to finish. I think I'm predicting points for the young man. I think, it's a bit of a dodgy first lap. Obviously, didn't get past the first corner, but I'm expecting Waring to fly through the field here. But looks like they were lined up.
Yeah, as long as Waring is pretty careful through the field, you never know what might happen for the rest of this grid. And hopefully, in the first turn this time, we will not have the crash as 4 lights are on and now 5. And Aiden Paulson leads from pole position, and it's a fantastic start from Cameron Brewster. He's going to go to the outside. Paulson, is he going to cover? No, he is not. Is Cameron Brewster going to be able to get the momentum around the outside as Fernandez goes through into the lead? And we've got a spinner. We've got a spinner again. A big crash at T1. Big crash. The top 3 through. No one else, though. That was Melamed, who spun, as you said, a Scuderia Basilia car. And we have had, we did have James Johnson, I believe, John Holmes as well. We had Fournier taken out. We had Fournier taken out as well. What is going on with these boys? Come on, get with it. That's Fournier, our race winner, now down in 30th position as Carlos Fernandez leads throughout turn 9 and down towards turn 10. Aiden Paulson from pole position. Behind him, Cameron Brewster in 3rd. Max Melamed in 4th. Fantastic. With that crash, I think it actually was Nikolai that may have caused that crash.
Because I said me.
Yeah. Then it's Churgwin in 5th. Fantastic stuff here for Drake. 3rd and 5th at the moment. Patrick Wanamula in 6th. Hansko Mebius 7th. Terence Greck 8th. Argo Tader in 9th. And Mark Hutchinson in 10th position.
Oh.
A great start for him as well. So this is going well.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of spins. Yeah, pretty big ones, unfortunately. Smithy without a rear wing and twin up. We know, understand you can't quite see what's going on in the moment, so we
Wearing out.
apologise. As Fernandez, Bruce's in second. What's happened to Paulson? Paulson's round. He must. Oh, who's that? Greg and Tadair, maybe. I think they've had a bit of a come together in turn 13, but yeah, it looks like Paulson's had a mistake. Down to 6th place, our pole sitter. Fernandez leads from Brewster. Who would have thought that?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good start from Fernandez, and he is running away at the moment. Where is Paulson? What actually happened? Sorry.
I don't know. I just checked and had a quick look, and he was down in 6th. Holmes is Holmes is out, 2nd place out,
Yeah.
and Waring also out. So Waring's a bit of a nightmare.
JJ in the pit lane. It's not great for those guys. This is looking...
Paulson. Yeah, it was coming out of turn 13. He's had a spin. Unfortunately,
visuals are back.
Down to 6th.
As 3rd position, Melamed fighting the back of Cameron Brewster. Now, this is looking good for Melamed in the championship hunt. Remember, 3 years ago, 2013, we had Emmanuel Gaxella who finished 1st and 7th. But he was clipped to the championship lead after the first round by Ari Niemanen, who finished 2nd and 3rd. So this consistency, he finished on the podium in the first race. He's looking strong for podium now, and he's right on the back of Cameron Brewster coming up towards 11 and 12. So this could be a potential double podium here for Max Melamed if he gets to the end of the race in those positions. As we are approaching the end of the second lap fast, as Churgwin is actually in 4th position due to Paulson as well. Paulson bouncing back from the mistakes he's had. He's still in 6th, looking strong to keep that, and hopefully he will until the end of the race. We've got plenty of people moving up through the field and up and down, so yeah, this race is going to spice up towards...
absolutely.
Towards the end of the second lap.
I was going to say, you had championship, JJ's down in 23rd, last I saw, so
yeah,
Fernandez and Menema could actually take a bit of a steal on the championship. Where's Rual as well? He's well down there as well, 21st, so big problems for the people who were at the front of the last race. But we'll wait to see what we can do. Brewster now 3 seconds behind Fernandez and has got Melamed for company.
Yeah, it's a shame we've had 2 first turns. This first turn is very tricky.
Absolutely,
but it's a shame we've had 2 first turns and 2 large incidents. But it is what it is. We've got to deal with it, and the drivers that are making hay while the sun shines are doing a great job as it is. And yes, Carlos Fernandez, a 3.4 second lead over Cameron Brewster. He is running away with this, and if he keeps those tyres in check, and we know that he is a quick driver, he qualified ahead of Melamed. He is looking strong to take the second race win of the evening, and a fantastic recovery drive in that second race would have led to that. So great stuff here from Carlos Fernandez.
Absolutely, and like I said, just don't push. He doesn't need to push.
Yeah,
He's got
exactly.
a 4 second lead. He does not always. He goes a bit wide there. That's what I mean. You don't need to push. What's the point? Yeah, I mean, second and third are about to erupt into a battle. I mean, if he's clever, if he's calm and collective, he will have this under wraps.
Again, as we've said so many times, this isn't like half factor 1 where I was in this position that Carlos Fernandez was in last season, and I was in the lead due to a reverse grid race, and it's kind of like back in R Factor 1 it was just push as hard as you can, whereas Carlos Fernandez is in a position where he can't push as hard as he can, and in fact that's actually harder. That is much harder to control yourself, to not try and go for the fastest lap, to not try and gap the car behind by 6 seconds. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be in the lead by 16 seconds. You only need to be in the lead by 1,000th. That's all you need.
That's proved in Monza last year by someone. I think there was a gap of like 4,000.
Yeah. Well, in last season here, it was something like 4,000th of a second between the top 2, being Sven de Vries and Jason Muscat. Again, 2 heavyweights in tomorrow's race as well. So tune into Super Cup tomorrow for some more fantastic racing. So yeah, again, you don't need to win it by a massive margin. You just need to be careful, and that's all Fernandez needs to do. Is we've got a 3-weight for 4th, my favourite, as we've got
Absolutely.
Vanamula, Churgwin, and Paulson.
Yeah, Churgwin made a mistake into 13 actually on lap 2, so that's how Vanamula got past. He went a little bit deep, as Paulson also goes a little bit deep, but managed to save it pretty well. But yeah, Churgwin made a small mistake, braked a little bit late. Only let Vanamula through, so he's still 5th place, very very comfortable. I mean, he's got Paulson for company, but he's got a nice 3-second gap to Mebius, who's also quite quick on his day, so could be an interesting one. Argentella up to 8th place. Where's that come from?
Yeah, I mean, all Tommy Oyalo's out of the race. He was running within the points earlier on. He is out of that race, subbing in, of course, for Alexander Van der Velde, who will be back next round, hopefully. But yeah, for Churgwin, all he needs to do is he needs to keep this car on the track, needs no mistakes, because I know, especially with Nikolai's mistake, at the moment, it almost seemed that these two teams were the two stronger teams. Of course, you've had the outfits that... like Epic that obviously had the race win, which is 25 nice and handy points. And but the thing is with Churgwin and Brewster, they were both finishing quite high in the order, and now they're finishing even higher. This is great for a good championship position departing the first round, and especially with, as I say, Nikolai's mistake. They need to just consolidate this position, and even if Churgwin drops down to 6th, that's okay. That's okay. Even if Brewster drops down to 3rd, that's okay. 3rd and 6th, fantastic stuff. And
it's better than a 1st and last, isn't it? Let's say so.
Exactly.
Yeah, it is just, but yeah, it's better. It's better to come consistent. I mean, that's what CSG did to an extent last year. Towards the end of last year in Super League. I mean, we weren't winning all the race. I mean, towards the end, Alex Cooper had a pretty good run, but we were always finishing 2nd and 3rd. 2nd and 5th, etc. It was always consistent, and that's what won the title compared to someone like Rob Bull, who had Pushka winning all these races, but they didn't have a second driver. And in the end, he just got sweet to the title. Hooray, by the way. Plug. But yeah, that's what you need. You need consistency of the team. It's better to have a consistent team than to have a really great driver and then have someone who might be not as quick, not finishing in the points, and you're not getting his points. And that's what's crucial in the title. But I'll tell you what, Brewster has gapped Mehmed. He's over 2 seconds ahead, and he's not exactly. He's done a 38.0. He's on the pace of Fernandez. Fernandez done 37.5 past the race, but
fantastic lap there from Brewster.
It's actually keeping him in. Fair play. Go on, Cam. We love you, Bowser. But he's doing a good job. He's doing a very respectable job.
I don't know if the thing is maybe Cam's pushing a little bit too hard, but maybe he is within his comfort zone. We're not really too sure. That's the kind of things that we'll find out towards the end of the race. Cam is someone who, as I said earlier, he is fast in RF2, and he's proving that now. He's in a car that he's comfortable in, and he's doing a great job. He had pace in qualifying, he had pace in practice, and he's got pace here. That is a very nice lap from him.
And like I said, he ran out of fuel in quali. Who knows what he'd have done? He ran out of fuel before the fight for the pole happened. Exactly. And I know he's told me he's told me the times he could have done. I think he could have got pole. I really do. So Brewster, I mean, he's dropped a bit of second back from Fernandez, but he just needs to keep it calm. Fernandez might make a mistake. He's pushing pretty hard.
5.1 seconds. Yeah, I think Fernandez is pushing way too hard. I think maybe he saw that, he did a good lap, and Brewster didn't drop back at all, and was kind of like, okay.
Yeah, it's that mindset that you need to just not need to let yourself fall into. I mean, it's a lot. I mean, someone like Phil Challenge, only 15 laps, not too bad. I mean, you concentrate 15 laps just, but Super League, someone like Super League or Super Cup, even in the feature race, you're racing around for 30 laps, 30 odd laps. You can't 33. Get into that mindset. You can't push 30 laps. No, it's impossible.
No, I mean, I've done. It's some of the mentality that you require from endurance racing, where you have that mentality of, I know this is sprint racing still, even a feature race, even a Super League race, realistically in comparison to an endurance race is not that long. It's only about an hour and a half. But you need that endurance racing mentality of you don't push every single lap, and to an extent you need that in Formula Challenge. We've still got this. We've still got Churgwin under heavy attack here from Paulson, and Paulson being the teammate of Ruaut, who's bounced back up into 14th, by the way, right in the back of Metcalf, who's our academy driver. He's doing a good job. As we've got Ruaut moving out, as Metcalf just gives him the position, possibly a smart move.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting points for the academy, and this is what it's all about. This shows Open Series that it will.
Paulson and Churgwin contact at 10. as Poulsen had to escape the road. Not really sure. I just caught that just as the contact was happening, and Mebius is catching up massively at the moment.
Yeah, it looks like Poulsen went for a move. Let's have a look. So he went for the move. Chuggy, I think it's a bit of unstood. I need to go on board. Let's have a quick look at this Churgwin. 5th place at the moment. Actually, yeah, so Vandermeer up to 4th is quite clear of these guys now. Let's have a look. Where are you? Churgwin down to 6th now. What's happening now?
No. It's just
all right.
timing.
That's me being stupid.
It's fine.
But yeah, it looks like he unstood. Missed the apex. Unstood a little bit. Nothing he could do. I wouldn't say it was nowhere near malicious. I know what Chuggy's like. He wouldn't do that. But
No.
just running out of grip. I mean, we're 10 laps in now. Oh no, we're not 7 laps in. I'm stupid again. I'm having a really bad day. It looks like unsteady. There's no harm cause. All the positions are the same. But like I said, Mebius now almost on their
catching.
tail.
Taylor's not very far off either. So's Terence Grech, Mark Hutchinson, and Naranjan Kumar, all in a nice line, ready to take away. They're not separated by very much. Churgwin to Kumar, that is 5th to 11th, is only 8 seconds. Oh, it's less than that. Sorry, 6 seconds. I'm being Parker. I'm not reading properly.
Yellow flag. What's that? Who's that off in? That would be Mason. He's off in. I don't know what turn it is, but it starts 6-2.
It's not a great round. Yeah, he's got no front wing coming out of 8 down towards 9. Yeah, it's lost front wing for Mason. And he's got this leading, well, not the leading duel, but the 5th place duel coming up ahead of him as he smashes that wall that we all found in practice.
Oh, Melamed, what is he doing? Oh, I don't know how he
Just
kept that. Oh, good save, but yeah, he messed up the entry into 11, and I don't know how he saved that. Good save from Melamed, but that will have cost him 2 seconds to Brewster.
James
now
Johnson
where is he? Down to the points. Who's that yellow flag? That's Mason getting away.
Mason again, yeah.
But yeah, fair play. I mean, I was going to say, actually, Ruel and Johnson, they were 21st and 23rd, respectively. So now 1st and 15th. Good job from the protagonist from the race 1.
As Johnson's coming up to Metcalf, I think he'll let him go as well. Yeah, he does. Johnson's been a bit aggressive here, trying to get back through the field. Smart stuff from Metcalf. I know, we're quite early in the race. I don't like believing. Oh, we've got someone off. Who's that? Oh, no, never mind. God, I'm doing you now. God. Not like that, though. It's just Mason off. Again, I think he's just trying to keep out of everyone's way. Smart stuff. As he's gone straight. Yeah, that's fair enough. He's just trying to keep out of everyone's way as Mason, which is fair play. As we've had Pereira and Fournier, this is all at the back. Fournier, a race winner, trying to make some progress through the field up towards 22nd. He's not a lap down yet, as Sam Jones spins behind him in 23rd.
Well, maybe he's made a mistake. He's down 8th.
Where is
Well, I don't know. Tedder's got past, but he just had Greg all over him, going into 4, but he's held him off.
Yeah.
And Greg's got to hold Hutchinson off, who's got Kumar right behind him, makes a mistake. Hutchinson through goes Kumar down to turn 9 into 10th place. Good stuff there. Good opportunistic driving. As we've got Poulsen off. Poulsen's off. Oh no! Don't come on track there. Nicely done. Nicely avoided. That's so unfortunate. Poulsen for this race. Looks like he's just had a bit of a mistake into turn 9. Turn 9's caught a lot of people out today.
It's very
Has
easy
he been
corners.
caught out by Churgwin? He had. I think Churgwin locked up a little bit. Poulsen panicked. Unfortunate. Shame he did a really good drive. I mean, still 12th. Good points, but
it's a shame. But we shall. Well, I'll just see where he goes. From there, it's a shame from the reverse grid pole, but it's always a bit tricky. He's still in the points. That is what we need to focus on. And actually, the car directly behind him now, quite a few seconds back, is his teammate Stefan Ruolt. So, it's still they're low down on the points. I know, but they're both in the points. It's important to come out the first round, especially if you've come out of the first round with the confidence that both cars have finished in the points. I know what it's like to come out of the first round with a double point score. It's a good feeling. Even if everything's gone wrong, if you've come out of it with a double point, it's just kind of it's fine. The season's going to be good, especially if you actually have mistakes, because it's just it's all behind me now. As Vandermuller's actually, I think he might be catching Melamed.
He was 1 second faster when Melamed that last lap.
Yeah,
and this is what I was about to say. You can see he's pushing because Fernandez. I was looking for his to turn 4 actually. Compared to Fernandez and Brewster for turn 4, and Fernandez on the power straight away through go. Brewster was taking it a lot easier, and this is why there's a 1.4 second gap in lap time between them, because Brewster is taking it easy. Melamed also taking it easy. Those two are coasting around some corners, saving the tyres for a bit of a push later on maybe, or just to get through the race. Fernandez, and I'm sure Vandermüller is doing it with the pace he's doing. He's absolutely flying as he goes off the track. He's just, pushing too hard. Is it too hard? Maybe we don't know, but we've got. I mean, we are how many laps through? There, almost 10 laps through.
Yeah.
Could they struggle in the last third of the race? We will see.
We shall see. I think these drivers do know a bit more about the cars than we do, although we can claim that we're above them. Lol.
Haha, Super League Master Race.
Yeah, I did a few rounds of Super League, and I don't think I've ever been more disappointing in my GPVWC career. So we've seen Nikolai and Rob Mason both out of the race as well, as recent retirements. To add to that,
Tadeusz catching Churgwin for 5th place as well. He's eating into his lead. It's compared to lap times, Chuggy goes across the line, does a 39.7 compared to a 39.2, so a half second gap gained on that time. But like I said, Chuggy's been doing a good job of defending. It's had a bit of an issue into turn 9. Maybe it could be a potential overtaking spot. That's what you're meant to do as a driver. You need to see if there's a fight going on in front of you. See where the driver in front is struggling. That's what I fame myself on it, eh? But it's like one of those things that you want to do. See what the other driver's weak and exploit it. That's what you've got to do, especially in cars like this that have dirty air, struggles to overtake. You need to find the places that they're weak. Like Fournier was good in Sector 1 in Race 1, also good in Sector 3. That's what Holmes needed to look for Sector 3. Sector 1, keep close to him. Sector 3, go for it.
Yeah. Yeah, this is all stuff that they need that these drivers, this is where they learn it. This is where it's probably not the best place to learn racecraft in a way, considering some things, but especially with the DC being as strong as it is now, from what happened over the Master Series and, hopefully moving that forward across this season. As Ranjan Kumar is out in the points, I do not know what has happened to him. He has lost a front wing, possibly an instant down. It's the flat.
Big accident.
He's actually lost his front wing before that. What happened to him? Let's have a look. It must have been through T1. Yeah, he spun out. He was. Sorry, who's that? It's Terence Grech who rejoined at T2. There was contact between them, and the Ranjan had a crash.
Today! He's off! He's lost his. He's
lost his rear. He's lost his rear.
He needs to escape. He needs to escape.
That is it.
That's okay. It's off the road. That was a big one. I just saw it. I was watching Chuggy to see because the gap had just got to less than a second actually. And he's coming out of turn 13. He's put a tiny bit too much power on. He's clipped the AstroTurf. Yeah, gone into the grass.
Yeah.
Ping.
Needs to escape. Needs to escape that car, Argo. It's a shame. It happens though. As Naranjan Kumar out of the race with 2 retirements in quick succession.
And this is it's what I was just saying. You don't need to push.
No.
Tadeusz was pushing, and he was doing a really good job. Really good job in 6th place. Unfortunately, he's pushed it a little bit too hard, and it's cost him and his team buckets of points.
Yeah, it's a tricky place, but it's again, this is the things that they'll learn throughout the season. Is when to push and when not to push. A lot of these guys haven't raced open wheelers since November last year. It's a long time, as we are approaching the end of February. It's plenty of months to be out of an open wheeler. To now get back into it, to learn how to drive it and stuff like that. I know we've done preseason testing, but preseason testing is not racing. It's not.
No.
The first racing laps of the season is where you learn your most. I only learn towards the end of the season. It's just those things that you need to pick up as the season goes on. I'm not like an Eric Strana who will pick it up straight away.
No, everyone. I mean, even someone like Eric, even someone like Pushka, he's probably still learning. I mean, he won the championship last year. Him and Fidok, great battle. Recommend you watch it all. Very good.
Very good. Yeah, very good.
They're learning things all the way through the year. I mean, new at CSG, wasn't until Austin we figured something out.
Yeah.
Got 1-2. Thanks to us figuring it out, we managed to get a good result. You figure these things out through the season. It might not be. Yeah, it might not be until Abu Dhabi later on in the season that they learn something. I know it's not the final round this year, but maybe even Brazil, last race of the year, they'll learn something. That's the thing, you're always learning, and that's the good thing about not just Formula Challenge, but the career ladder in general in these cars, especially with R-Factor 2. New sim, new everything, so it's going to be really good to see how it all evolves. It looks like Fernandez is over 10 seconds ahead now. I think the gap stagnated at 10 seconds for the last couple of laps, but...
Yeah, it's come down a little bit, but not too much. I don't know, I think everyone's just a bit status quo here. The closest duel, really, I can see is something like the Paulson-Hillebrand
Yeah.
battle for 9th and 10th, which is something that we may keep an eye on towards the end of the race. It's a bit of a mistake there for Hillebrand, coming down out of 6 and 7. I think Poulsen might be able to get him here into turn 10. No cigar there.
No, see, this is the lovely thing about Formula Challenge. There's battles going on, maybe not at the front, but down. You go down towards just outside the points. You've got De Jong, Lindbergh, 13th, 5th, 14th, Metcalf and Muru, 15th, 16th, Willis and Fournier. Fournier's had a good drive back from there.
He is. He's going to have a good drive up here. Is he going to be able to get a move into 6? It's a dangerous spot to do a move.
Yeah, it's not tricky with braking for it on your
Yeah,
own.
but he's got a good draw. Close contact a little bit there. Fournier though passed. I mean, I don't know if there actually was contact. It was just the camera angle.
I think Willis just got a little bit too heavy on the exit.
Yeah. I don't know if there was contact as they were leaving the corner. It certainly wasn't Fournier's fault at all. But yeah, Fournier's trying to bounce back. I don't think he's in contention for points at all.
No,
he's a little bit too far out. But he's just, again, this is the thing, is at this point, never ever turn down a racing lap. It doesn't matter if you're outside of the points or what, there's so much you can learn. And as you said, never stop learning.
Yeah, I mean, we see what crashes. I mean, you say it's not for a point, who knows?
Who knows,
I mean,
exactly.
With Tedder and Kumar, 2 top 10 runners, bang, out. One mistake, you are out.
And there is so many people that are driving, 2x2 basically. Here we go. I know this is nothing. I think Carlos is just slowing down, keeping his tyres under, but he has lost an incredible amount of time over the last few laps. Over the last lap, he's lost about 3 seconds, or it might have just been timing glitch.
No, it's second and a half. Whenever we went over the line, it was only 8 seconds. So I'm not sure he made a mistake somewhere in sector 1, but
I just think it went. I think I saw it at 5 just a second ago. But probably just timing glitch.
And this is where it starts to get interesting. This is where it starts to get interesting. We've got how many laps? I mean, it's not many laps. I mean, we're on the last lap now, but
yeah, we're going to the last lap.
I mean, he's done a good job of gapping it, but last lap is he going to struggle? Compared to time, so look, Fernandez now down into the 141s. Yeah, 40.9.
40.9, yeah.
That doesn't count. But Brewster, he's kept his tyres alive. 38, 39, 40, 8 temps.
Yeah. Cam's doing a good job. I get second place. Fantastic drive from him.
And he said to me, I'm hoping for top 10. I said, no.
Yeah.
I know what you can do. And he's doing it. I'm very proud.
You said that to me last season as well, mate.
I told you. But you did a boob and
Rout and
span.
Poulsen. They've switched positions.
Johnson's there as well.
Johnson's right at the back. Yeah, I still finished second in race 1. Those 2, rather. That's fine.
Didn't win though, did you? Don't worry, I didn't win anything last year either. I was useless. Who's that? Yeah, so it looks like status quo top 10 or so. Looks like they're pretty settled down. There's got Poulsen and Johnson coming out of turn 1 and 2. Out of turn 3, Johnson into the slipstream. Can he make a move on the last lap down into turn 4? And Poulsen has a look, but it's a little bit too far back. But can he get the cutback? Not quite. A bit of a mistake. Gives Poulsen a reprieve for now. We've still got half a lap of this race to go for these guys. However, Mr. Fernandez is going into his final sector.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic drive here from Carlos Fernandez. He qualified well in the first race, had the struggle through the turn 1 crash, but here for Tay4 Motorsports, he has done an absolute standout job here in race 2. And for the second race winner of this season, Carlos Fernandez comes down towards the line and secures victory here at Australia. Cameron Brewster going to join him on the podium, and 2 times in a row, Max Melamed possible. I'm pretty sure now he will be the championship leader here for Scuderia Basilia. Fantastic job for Melamed to get 2 podiums in a row, as out of the final corner comes Vanna Muller as well, as Aidan Poulsen's out on the final lap.
Oh, unfortunate. Looks like he might have just...
I don't know what that was, but Vanna Muller comes over in 4th position. Matthew Churgwin, fantastic results here for Drake. 5th
really
position
good for Drake, yeah.
For Churgwin, yeah. Terence Grech, 6th position, fantastic job. Hansco Mebius and Mark Hutchinson towards the line for 7th and 8th. And there they go, 7th, 8th. Nicholas Hillebrand just in front of Ruolt. Fantastic drive from him as well. Double points finish in his first ride. Stefan Ruolt, 10th position. Really did a good job of bouncing back. Same with James Johnson, 11th position. Great stuff. What could have been for JJ this evening, we do not know. Mitchell de Jong, 12th position, just in front of Johan Lindbergh. Out of the final corner now comes, it is a good drive from de Jong, especially after the DNF in the first race and bouncing back from that. Randy Muru, 14th position. And for our academy driver, just in front of the race winner, is Brett Metcalf fantastic drive here. Academy scores on its first outing of the season. Great stuff there. And of course, Fournier, 16th position. Not the best second race there for Fournier, but that race win in race 1, what a fantastic way to start the season. He's not going to leave here as the championship leader, but he's going to lead here with the confidence that he knows he grabbed that pole position and he went on to win that race. So yeah, what a season we've got ahead of us. And yeah, with the pace that lots of people were showing, who knows who is going to win this season. It's so open.
I'm less sure of what I was. I'm less sure of what I was before the start of
I
racing.
know.
I was like, oh, maybe JJ, maybe Jono. If had Jono retire from one race, JJ's got 5th and where is he? 11th. What on earth has happened? I mean, some people have really pulled out back. Fernandez, Melamed, Brewster. I mean, those top 3, really good, really impressive. Those top 3, really impressive. Van der Miller fell off towards the end, but
I know it's typical to pick the 2 race winners, but Fernandez and Fournier, 2 fantastic drives, really stunning job from the 2 of them to pull that one out of the bag. Of course, he must give a shout out to Ruel, who kept his tyres in nick. And of course, all the recovery drives that we've seen from the first turn incidents. It's kind of what are we looking forward to over the season? I am the same as you. I am even more confused as to who could possibly be within championship contention come 16 rounds time now. It's such a long championship, and so much is going to change over this season. Boy, have we got a season to look forward to.
Yeah, I really do not know what on earth to think after that. The teams are even harder for the teams. The only teams I can see that are both in the top. I mean, you've got Drake in the top 5. Good job from them.
We have Basilia in race. We have Basilia in race 1 with 2 podiums and I think a 6th place, and then a DNF. I think Scuderia Basilia might be leading, with Drake a close second. I think
sounds about right. Yeah, Drake. I mean, like I said, the win is good. I mean, the win is quite dominant, 25 points. I think. I can't remember these days. But 2nd and 5th, and a 5th. No, 7th and 11th.
7th and 11th, yeah.
So that's pretty good going from Drake boys. So shout out to them.
Yeah.
So I want to give out a shout out to Michael De Jong, because that was good. He started 28th or something like that. I finished 12th. It was pretty damn good.
Yeah, I'd also give a shout out to Hillebrand, who started from the back in race 1. Managed to grab himself 2 decent points paying positions for Hillebrand there. Great stuff from him. And yeah, we've got a Cameron Brewster who's going to join us, which I will actually, considering you 2 are close buddies, I'll leave you to do the interview for Mr. Brewster.
User was moved to your channel.
So, Mr. Brewster, like I said on broadcast, Cam, you said, I want to get a top 10. I'll be happy with the top 10. And we'll go from there. And you've gone and got a second. How do you feel?
I would have been happy with the top 15 in both races. Yeah, messed up a bit with the fuel in qualifying. I didn't realise that these cars are powered by V8s from American pickup trucks. But no, race 1, massive mess up at turn 1. Managed to kind of avoid that. Somehow Chuggy made his way past me. Don't know how that happened. Then, yeah, finished in the points in that. And then race 2 happened. And it was kind of, when I realised that the leader was like 10 seconds away, I thought there's no point in me trying to catch him. I'll just end up messing it up and crashing into a wall. So, tried to maintain the gap to 3rd. And yeah, I ended up finishing 2nd. So I'm a little bit happy.
Very good, yes. Like I was saying, we've saying on the broadcast about how important it is to push the tyres and not when to push. I mean, were you pushing at all through that race? I mean, obviously Fernandez was flying away at rate of knots at one point, but towards the end, you were starting to catch him up again. We were possibly because of the tyres.
I wasn't doing quali laps. But I wasn't exactly going for a Sunday drive. Make of that what you will. And I thought a few people were suffering with tyres as well, and that was kind of my hope that, yeah, the tyres would give out toward the end and I'd be able to make it through, but it didn't happen. No, apparently in the first race that was better than what happened last year in Corella for Drake, so I'm really happy with that, because obviously Chuggy got points as well. And then race 2, apparently, according to Mike, that is the best finish in FC history for the team. So, yeah, massive thank you to Chuggy for helping me with setup and stuff and testing. And congratulations to him for also getting points as well.
Yeah, like I said, we were saying a very strong start for Drake. Where do you think you can see yourself then? Obviously, it's very good to start. Do you see yourself challenging, possibly even for a title, maybe, or are you just trying to keep your feet on the ground after the first round?
Title was probably out of the question, purely because of the lack of time that Chuggy and I have, given that we have jobs and whatever. And we're not aliens, like Mr. JJ. But no. Hopefully top 5 would be nice at the end of the season. But yeah, just as long as we can keep finishing in the top 10s, that'd be great.
I don't know if you've got anything to add, Mr.
No, I don't. It's a great way to start off the season with a podium. Yeah, hopefully you can carry that on, throughout the championship, and hopefully a few more podiums will go your way, showing some great pace as well. I'll quickly go to Mr. Max Melamed, who got the double podium, both races, third position. We're pretty short, based on everything, championship leader here. Do you see yourself in that position, continuing throughout the season? What kind of things are you expecting from this season?
Well, first of all, it was a quite exhausting race, a lot of traffic and quite a lot of incidents. It was a lot of fun. And yeah, well, time-wise, like I don't know who said it, but time-wise, it will be colliding with my job on some days, I think. So most of all, it's for now, it's for the fun. I'm quite surprised that I made it on the podium twice, because in practice, I didn't really have the pace that I was hoping for. So I'm just looking to the next race. Maybe I'm a bit quicker there, because Melbourne isn't one of my favorite circuits. So we will see what comes through the season. And yeah.
Yeah, it's all about taking it one round at a time, and learning what you can as you go. We were talking a lot in that broadcast about how much you've got to learn throughout the season. You never stop learning. Do you think you've learned a lot? You say you were struggling for pace within practice. Did you learn a lot about how to manage the tyres throughout the race and stuff like that? Or, how to progress the setup throughout the season in the next couple of rounds?
I think I definitely have to take more work into the setup, due to I had to move to a new flat and had a lot of work to do, and skiing holidays. My pre-season testing wasn't good, to be honest. So I think it will be like in 3 or 4 races, I might know exactly how the car works and where to tweak what to get the car to handle like I wanted to on each and every circuit. So I think it's a long learning process. Also, that it's my first season driving open wheelers since ages.
Yeah, you did a very good job. Obviously, as we said, championship leader, looking very strong in the championship. Parker, do you have anything to add here?
No, but yeah, like I said, really great job. Great job. Really well done.
Yeah. We'll be very excited to see what happens with you as the season progresses, and hopefully your teammate as well, who struggled in that second race. Hopefully you both move forward and potentially fight for that championship.
I hope so. I just saw when Marius has been spun in the first corner, I was like, oh, don't crash into that mayhem. So he was a bit unlucky in race 2, but he will be more lucky in next race for sure.
Indeed, thank you very much, Max Melamed of Scuderia Basilia. Parker, would you like to take the next one?
Let's go JJ. So, James Johnson. It's a quiet race. I mean, it started off really great with a good job in quali, but got pipped to pole at the end there. Do you know what happened with qualifying? Because you were pole until about a minute to go, and then suddenly these 3 people just pop out of nowhere and get pole. So I was wondering what would happen during quali.
Yeah, just didn't have enough fuel. Basically, the track just keeps getting faster, so it's a really I didn't time it properly, I guess. And so yeah, I got pipped to pole, and that kind of sums up the race as well, because dirty air was just hell.
yeah, we were saying. I mean, we were saying with you, Jono, and Jeffrey. All 3. I mean, at one point you were all within like a second and a half of each other, but going through the dirty air, obviously you were at the back, and we just saw you and Jono just dropped off because in turn 3 and turn sector 3 because there's dirty air. So how did that affect the racing? Would you think if we tweaked it a little bit, would it be better, or do you think, yeah, we just need to learn the way around it?
You could try with the setup, but it's way too it being the third car in the train, I thought it was probably going to be worse for me anyways, especially with lower wings. I thought I had lower wings than the rest of the guys around me. So obviously I was just wrecking the front left going through any of the quick corners pretty much. And yeah, that basically that was it really. And then turn 1 in race 2 just got completely collected. I don't even know what the hell happened there, but oh well.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of incidents at the start of the season to sour it, but I mean, apart from that, the racing was pretty good. Obviously, a 5th place and 11th place, I believe, for you isn't too shabby. I mean, it's points. It's more points than we're saying, like championship hunt in terms of that. A lot of drivers like Fournier and Jono and Rual as well, to an extent, they finished quite low down in race 2. So, do you think? I mean, you finishing 11th isn't perfect, but it's more points than they got. Do you think that gives you hope for the championship? I mean, is your aim still going to be for the championship?
Yeah, obviously. I don't know where I am at the moment. I know that there's probably not going to be top 3, obviously, but hopefully Bahrain, more space, bigger track, take different lines, not get affected by the dirty air so much. Hopefully it gets tweaked. I hope, fingers crossed, because that was not pleasant at all. Even cars who are about 2 seconds, 3 seconds, a second slower, you struggle. You just can't pass them unless they make a mistake or you get a good run out of a corner. But yeah, no, it's literally it's gonna be. I think if it doesn't change, then it's gonna be a lot about setup, really.
Yeah, hopefully either that'll change as the season goes on, or hopefully we will. You can figure your way around it. People like Ruat worked really nicely with the dirty air. Obviously you struggled with tires. Is that 100% the dirty air, or was there
Yeah.
another element? Do you think there was a little bit in setup that might have been helpful?
No, I practice. I did over 100 laps yesterday trying to get the race setup working well for myself. But obviously there's no factor. You can't factor in dirty air without having someone drive in front of you for about 15 laps to try and see how it works. But no, I put a lot of practice into it, so I didn't think the setup was actually pretty decent. But when you get stuck behind someone, it's totally different car. The back steps out, the front doesn't want to turn in, and then it's kind of you start overheating all the tires, and then obviously I spun it. So
Yeah. Well, you'll move on into the next round and continue learning from the car, and hopefully figure out a way around to drive around the dirty air. It's difficult, but it's possible. There is a method to it that we were discussing on the broadcast. There's always a way of doing things. Our final person to interview at the moment is Matty Churgwin, who looked strong in the first race, had a bit of a mistake that cost him. Another one that was struggling a little bit with tyres, and of course 5th place in race 2. We heard a bit of flat spot issues. Again, another person that struggles with tyres.
Yeah. Hi guys. Whatever reason, as the race evolved, the balance of the car really changed. In practice and things, never had the car sort of go understeer at one point, oversteer at others, and unfortunately, coming out, I think it was turn 9, just got sideways, and the rest was history. I lost like 10% of the rear tyres in that slide. Thankfully, didn't take anyone out. But yeah, it was hard work. As JJ was saying, the dirty air was incredible. It's like a vacuum; you just get nothing, no response from the car at all, and it just absolutely baked those tyres. But it's a learning experience. There's a long way to go. If dirty air gets tweaked or not, either way, it will be a thing to work around, and perhaps a differentiator between cars as things go on.
Yeah. Do you see yourself? Obviously you were fighting comfortably, and not comfortably. You were. Well, I wouldn't say you were fighting for the top 10. I think you were 8th position when you spun, and obviously a very nice drive into a 5th position in race 2. Do you consider yourself as being regularly up in the top 10, or do you think Bahrain it'll be a series reset again? And people will learn what they learn, and you'll need to make another step forward to keep yourself within that top 10. How do you feel Bahrain's going to go?
I'd like to think that top 10s at least every round, perhaps every race, maybe a bit of a stretch, from track to track. Just depends how we approach it and how the car and our setup works. But everyone will be learning, and we have to be the same. We've done a fair amount of work over the winter period. The guys at Drake have been absolutely amazing in helping us, spending time trying to figure out the finer points of this car, and it's amazing. You can change one thing, and it can have a huge effect, both doing the change you'd want it to do, but also undoing a few others. So it's the real fine balancing act. We've got a long way to go in the championship. We've certainly got a lot to learn about this car, and well, hopefully more good results will come.
Well, that's fantastic to hear. Obviously, a great round for the two drivers within your outfit, being yourself and Mr. Brewster, and again, very, very comfortable in that team's chase. Parker, do you have anything to add and question to ask, Mr. Chairman?
How did you do those starts? Because I mean, one of them you started 17th, and you had like 8th after lap 1. It's like, what? Is it just a case of avoiding everybody or keeping it calm, or did you expect? Oh yeah, I've got to start. I know what I'm doing.
Unfortunately, turn 1, just the way it is, I was expecting trouble, and I was just thinking, right, either maintain, or if you have to lose a place because there's something going on, keep your front wing and all that kind of stuff. Time and time again, you lose an aerodynamic piece, or you knock the camber or whatever, and your races run before you even get a chance. So no, I was just trying to keep my nose clean, literally. The actual get away from the line both times were really good. I started each time on the left-hand side, so perhaps a bit of the rubber on the racing line helped a bit. Yeah, just kept my nose clean and picked my way through, and ultimately tried to be sensible. You can't win the race in the first turn. You have to be there right to the very end, and that's all I was aiming for.
Brilliant. Yeah. Other than that, well done. Really great job. Really, really consistent. Really good job. Well done. And that's it. I think. Got no more.
We all know I'm waiting for an interview in our little waiting channel. But yes, what a first round, the first turn incident. We could have done without in both races, but it did spice up the action and put some people in places they really probably shouldn't have been, and did move around the action. The reverse grid race helped spice that up as well. And as always, Formula Challenge will be once every 2 weeks until the mid-season break, where we'll be away for 4, and then we'll be back until the end of the season. 17 rounds across the championship, 1 down, 16 to go. And of course, do not forget to join us tomorrow, where we have the Super Cup, the first round of the Super Cup season. It's been fantastic for the previous 2 seasons. We'll see where that goes in the new era, the Formula Renault 3.5. And of course, we have Super League, which is all completely equalized pre-season testing. Yes, everyone is all in the same car up there in Super League. So yes, that is on Thursday. Please tune into all of them. I'm expecting 3 more great races from this week. And of course, remember to join in 2 weeks' time. We'll be back. It'll be Bahrain. We're not sure if at night or day at the moment. But that is going to be a great round. It's always a good circuit for a bit of racing. I can't stand driving it, but racing-wise, always provides some nice action. And of course, now it's time to thank, of course, Chris Williamson for running the show tonight, and Quintin Plane for doing the cameras, stepping in for the broadcast. Fantastic stuff. Thank you, Quintin. And of course, my co-commentator, Mr. Parker. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes, and I have been Lewis McGlade, and hopefully we will have a fantastic season ahead of us. That has been the first round of GPVWC Formula Challenge 2016. And until next time, goodbye.
See you later.